Let's do it.
Oh, I don't know why spoilers are on. Hello, there's no spoilers here. Well, I guess technically there is,
apparently,
but
apparently we are the spoilers.
yeah, technically a little Outcast spoilers.
Wait,
I'm
no,
waiting.
the comic is the spoilers. Turn it off. Turn it off.
I'm waiting for it to save. I can't
God,
work on
that
this
is a
of the
mood.
comic because on this what I was working on because it's got too much going for it. So it's like, oh no.
Oh no. Hello, Nikia. Hello, Pastry Puff. Hello, MP. Welcome, welcome. So glad you could make it on this lovely.
Yes, hello.
I can't say night or day because y'all have different time zones. So I'm just going to say
hour
time.
Night. A lovely hour night.
On this lovely
my
time.
Gosh. Hello, Federico.
Ooh,
right bright and early in the
oh.
stream. Scones. Ooh.
Actually, you're right on time.
Delicious.
Ori just informed me that her tea is not made.
It's being made. It's steeping as we speak. Speak.
My tea.
Okay.
I am right. Well, actually, I desperately needed my tea. My voice was giving out so much after work today.
This is taking
I was just like,
Oh. Almost
is
done.
Is it a big file?
Yes, it's a fucking massive file. It's just... They're all massive files,
well,
and this
one
is
your answer.
This one is like extra big because it's extra long.
Ooh. That's true. I remember coloring in all of that.
Yes. Guys, the comic
I'm
in less
so
than a
proud
day.
Of that group shot.
In less than a week comes out.
Less than a day.
Don't
do that to me.
Yeah, Nikia.
Doing pretty good, Nikia. You know,
right,
it's a Tuesday.
I'm gonna go finish T Mars.
Take it away. Work. All right. Yeah, it was a pretty good day, Nikia. Pretty typical. Went into work, did some work, came home, nearly fell asleep on the couch. Mason, hello. Oh no, not the charging capabilities. That is the worst when that happens. Like when it either just stops charging out of nowhere or like it's not charging as fast as before. I had like one phone that took forever to charge, but then the battery like just vanished in a single afternoon. It was so bad. You cleaned it with a toothpick. Mason, you might consider if you try that air in a can. They sometimes use that to clean motherboards and computers. It's supposed to be gentle so it doesn't mess with the internals of the phone. You might try that because you might have some dust in that charging port. I had that one time. Oh, that's nice, Nikia. I'm glad you're doing a bit better. It's a fresh new week, you guys. I cannot believe it's the second week of January. And the reason I say that is because we have off at my school in a couple weeks. I'm just like, oh my God, I forgot school had this many vacations. I am not complaining by any means. I'm just surprised. Oh. You got some dust out of it? Oh, that's good. Is it charging any better? Because that's the goal. That's the goal. I mean, if you can make that happen with a toothpick. Only 50 weeks to go. That's right. Hang in there. It's actually funny. One of the schools I work at, they have on the announcement like what day of school it is. They do it routinely. It's like, today is the 60 somewhat day of school. And I'm just like, it's been 60? Holy crap. It's like, because it both feels like that length of time, but it also doesn't feel like that length of time.
Uh-oh, it still hasn't saved.
Oh, so hard. It still hasn't saved. Oh my God, this is the biggest file ever.
Oh, goodness.
I think we've hit a milestone.
No. Well, maybe. Maybe there's more information. We might have to just restart it and hope for the best. Ay.
Cheers to cleaning your room for the first time. It's a good way to go into the new year. Nice clean room.
Yes.
I wanted to clean my room. The most I could do was just change my bed sheets. But hey, you know, whatever you could do, it still counts.
I definitely know I saved recently, so I might just have to cancel it, go in and...
Please tell me you aren't going to lose like 4 hours of hard work.
Oh, it finished? It finished! Yay!
Woo!
No, I wouldn't have lost 4 hours. It was just the bubbles, so...
Oh,
it
thank
wouldn't have
God.
been anything. A Bible to be... Yeah, no, honestly, I should cut it in half, and I'll probably do that before I finish working on it, because if it takes that long to just do now... I literally have to stop working on that episode, because with stream, it's just too much for everything going on.
I feel like that would... If Baldur's Gate totaled your computer, I feel like that one's gonna do about the same.
It's not even... My whole thing is it's just doing the stream and the intensive thing, right? That's it. That's the only reason. It's just like, I have to do stream and intensive stuff. You know, that's why streamers do like dual computer
Why
setups
must it be
and shit.
so much power? I would honestly love to have a dual computer setup one day.
I don't think
I know enough to make it work.
I might debate it if I end up getting another, like a new tower. I might repurpose one tower to just be a stream computer.
That would be wild. Think of all we could
I'm
do.
sorry to hear that, Nikia. You gotta get one of those, like, sun lamp things. God, I used to, when I was in college, where I went to college... Yeah, no. Where I went to college, okay, I am very thankful. I have not been depressed in my life. You know, very, what's the word there? Privileged.
Very hashtag blessed.
Yeah, hashtag blessed, okay? I went to college in a place that is known for its snow. That's fine. Where we live has had a decent amount of snow in our lifetimes. You know, snow days were nothing new. You know, all these sort of things. Igloos, snowmen, etc. So I was pretty psyched for the snow because we hadn't had a lot of snow where Mars and I live, you know, in a while. So it was like, oh, yay, snow. Pretty exciting. I like to play in the snow. What they don't tell you is that in this place, basically the entire school year, from like September to April, it's gray.
Oof.
There is no sun. And I was definitely really feeling it. I was really feeling the lack of sun. And I'm like sitting here, I'm like, wow, why is this winter
depression
so suck so much? And then I would come home for like Christmas break, for, you know, between semester break, and it would be sunny with snow on the ground, right? And, you know, snowblind and all that sort of stuff, right? And it would be sunny, and I was like, I forgot that this was a weather combination. I forgot that we could have sunny, cold weather, because where we live, where Mars and I live, that's actually pretty common. Having a bright, sunny, clear blue sky day, but snow on the ground and freezing cold. Oh my God, the wind today. Jesus Christ.
It's fairly common. Oh, the wind
Very
today was bad.
And so it was
that
like,
was
because
cutting through me. I'm just like, ugh.
So bad. But so in college, I was like, I never like experienced this like fluctuation of feeling like sun deprived. And it turns out it's just that fucking place has no fucking sun. Jesus Christ. Yeah, guys, if you're feeling sad, if you're feeling depressed in like it's a new thing, like it's a sometimes thing, right? And you're not really sure why. I recommend trying to get sunlight. That's really it. It you know, I'm not trying to be like, oh, you know, don't get therapy
really
or anything.
Does
like
play
there's different
a role.
things. But like in the wintertime, it's been, oh no, sledding. Yes, Federico.
Huge sledding fan.
Oh, love sledding. My father bought me this really cool sled.
I've actually been disappointed the last few seasons because that a good hill by us has gotten no good snow whatsoever. Like the snow we're getting now is not good sledding snow.
I like sledding.
And I'm very sad.
And I like snowman building. Why is this not? What the hell?
Snowman building, snow fort building. That's another good one. I gotta do my seasonal snow flop. I gotta get a snow flop in at least once.
Having so much lag.
Oh, nice. Listening to music. That's a good one. That's my go-to.
What's eating? Oh.
Eating?
Yeah. Well, we're gonna close clips to paint and come back to it because it is eating up a lot of RAM right now, as it should not be.
Uh-oh. How will we work on the comic tonight?
Like, everything's lagging. Everything's doing whatever. And it's like, what is possible using of all that? Yeah, it's Clip Studio. It happens when a program is open for a while.
That would do it.
Such is life. Let me get my computer back a second. Honestly, I'm debating when I get some more money, bringing my computer in to get more RAM. That'd be nice. Be
well, would that
helpful.
be like a long-lasting fix or just a temporary one?
It'd be a long-lasting fix. It would add more RAM to my computer.
It could be worth it.
Alrighty. Everything. There's too many. I have too many things. Guys, if you haven't watched the Ace Attorney video yet, you should. It has an Animini in it.
Yes.
It has that.
Ori did another anime, and guys, I'm not biased at all. It's not like I like Ori or anything. It's not like I want to support her or anything. But I gotta say, this Animini was peak. It was peak, my lord.
Are you using it, Mason? Don't look at the sun directly, Mason. You gotta look at it, adjacently.
Or get sunglasses.
Well, you still shouldn't look directly at the sun with sunglasses. That's why eclipse glasses are a separate thing.
To my goddamn eyes while I'm driving on the highway. I put the visor down to, shield my eyes, and it doesn't fucking work.
Hey, it's working, Mason.
And I'm still driving in the direction of the sun.
Yeah, that's
terrible.
A vibe. That's a vibe.
Terrible.
All right. Unlike some solar systems that are twin star systems, ours is a single star, but we're talking about identical twins today. I tried my best.
What a transition.
Could you have done better?
Aren't there sister planets out there? Earth and Venus?
I literally said twin star systems. I feel like we're in the same ballpark of relatedness.
Okay, twin star system. I didn't hear the star system part. I just heard star.
I see. Oh.
No, seriously, Federico, I swear that's why road rage is a thing. If I speed up for any reason on the highway, it's because I'm trying to drive into where there's shade. And get the sun out of my goddamn eyes. Because it's horrible.
That's not what I wanted to do.
Mason, you've never met an identical twin? Oh my god, I think I've met 4 identical twins.
I can recall vividly one set of identical twins. And then I knew
they're just very prevalent in our area.
I knew triplets. I knew a bunch of fraternal twins.
That's right, they weren't twins, they were triplets.
But they weren't identical.
No, I'm thinking of ones I knew when I was way younger, like that's before I met you.
Did they move away to Massachusetts?
I don't know if it was Massachusetts.
Did they move away in like 2nd grade?
Let me send you the names, but you and I did not go to the same elementary school.
If they went to your elementary school, then probably not. But if you knew them from somewhere else. Otherwise, we both had triplets friends in elementary school.
These were their names.
No. Those were mine.
But I remember those 2 twins in my... Oh. Yeah, I have no idea.
All right, well, apparently we both knew a set of triplets in elementary school who moved away before middle school. How wild.
What a coinky dink.
Yes, identical twins are like doppelgangers, but not technically because they're not doppelgangers. Doppelgangers have to be a specific other thing.
Based in genetics.
Yes, it's a genetic thing where one zygote becomes 2, and so they have the same DNA. Identical DNA. However, coolly enough, identical twins don't have identical fingerprints. That's just a random shit thing. So, very fun.
Randomly assigned your fingerprints.
Yeah, you really are.
Now, I think identical twins, especially in media, can be very cool because there are a lot of possibilities with identical twins. Like the cats from the one Disney movie. Yep. Oh, we all
The
remember Lady and the
Siamese
Tramp.
cats, yes.
Yep.
But yeah, there are
Yeah.
good depictions of twins, and then there are bad depictions of twins, and there are also
And then there are sometimes
tropes,
med
I
depictions
find.
of twins.
And tropes involved with twins, right? If I've come to first think of it, you think of the creepy aspect, right?
Well, that was what I was going to bring up, because that's always the trope people turn to when they think of the classic twin, is like, oh, the twin standing at the end of that hallway in The Shining,
Yeah, The
and
Shining,
speaking
big
in
one.
unison.
Exactly.
I think it's very interesting with twins because you already have this idea of you're genetically linked from birth, right? It's like you said, Ori, there's one zygote and then it splits in half. So then to like up the creep factor, you have the finishing each other's sentences or speaking in unison, because like that's creepy.
Yeah,
How could
twin
one mind
link-esque
so know
things.
much about the other unless they came from like the same thing? A lot of writers like to play around with that. It does lead to some fun set pieces, I think.
I think what is so cool, and probably what we're going to talk about most with identical twins, is the storytelling aspect that comes from the stereotypes of identical twins, and how identical twins interact with the world, and what sort of plot points that could cause within their own relationship and identity, which I think is very intriguing.
One of the most fun things about taking a trope is seeing how do you subvert it. You know, you start off with these tropes that people are very familiar with, very used to seeing, and then you go a step further and kind of turn it on its head a little bit. You kind of explore them more. I think with twins especially, people almost expect them to act exactly the same, especially in media. Whereas like,
and be very close.
Even in real life, you don't really place that expectation on real life twins that much. You know, you still have this understanding that they're their own people, but not so much in media. So I think when you do break away from that, it can lead to some interesting interpretations.
I think that a lot of people do sort of gloss over them being individuals in real life, especially at younger ages.
Okay,
because I find that if it's difficult for you to tell someone apart, it's difficult for you to differentiate them as people. And if your whole life you're like taught this way, right? If it's you know, pushed by your parents always want to dress you the same and be cute and whatever, that can really lead to a very classic exploration of the sort of missing identity sort of thing that we see in our High School Host Club. What are they?
It's so funny you went in that direction, because the way you were describing it literally reminded me of an episode of Sweet Life of Zach and Cody.
Oh, see, that's another good one. That's another good one.
Most of us grew up with.
But they also have the creepy twins in Avatar: The Last Airbender, those old ladies that talk in unison together for the Fire Kingdom.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, and then, of course, Zach and Cody. But there was one more I just had, and I've lost it. Obviously, Miki Dolly, obviously.
Codename Kids Next Door.
I didn't watch that, really. No, I'm trying to remember. There was another identical twins I had.
There's another one in like a classic kids TV show.
I've just lost it. It's gone.
And guys, if you can think of any of your favorite twins from media, pop them in chat and we'll talk about them if we know of them. But I know it definitely got Ori started on this kick was the Orin High School Host Club twins. For me, it was the Migi and Dolly twins. I feel like those will probably be the focus of tonight.
They are. They're the big ones that was really like the thing. Oh, Stan Pines and Ford Pines.
Thank you. Oh my God.
I was trying to remember. That was like right there.
I can't believe we forgot that one.
Oh, I have to look at that.
That is classic. The Pauper and the Prince. Is there a specific telling of that one, or is that the classic telling?
It's by Mark Twain.
So we're talking about classic telling.
Yeah.
Yes. The classic twinning by Mark Tell. That's totally what I wanted to say.
There is a movie, apparently. Or a show?
Ooh. And
It
a
looks
show?
like a movie. It looks like a movie.
Curious, Federico, which one are you familiar with? The movie or the book or
There's
the show?
also a Disney Mickey version?
Wholeheartedly believe that.
There's a Disney Mickey version. Ah, Kaka and Kiki. Yes,
Kiki
Dungeon
from
Meshi.
Dungeon Meshi.
They would be fraternal, yes. But still, if you're close enough where... Oh, it's getting there, Mason. If they're close enough where you are...
Mason, try closing out your background apps. Sometimes that drains the battery from it.
Oh, yeah, def.
I know it's stupid that you need tricks to reclaim your battery, but I'm telling you, that's one that works.
But I think the big point of it, because I feel like the identical twins trope could be done with siblings that look very similar, even if they're not technically identical twins. I think the whole point is the idea of having two characters that, by society's means, should be close. Right? Because, they're like your other half,
Like,
or like,
should
you know,
be
they're
pretty
siblings.
similar.
You should be like close and love each other and like have this, you know, extra connection sort of thing that nobody else has. And you can't be told apart. So other people in the world constantly mix you up, or, you know, it doesn't feel like you have an identity.
Or you could swap places with the other.
Yeah. And that's
Like,
a big explanation.
the other classic twins, the Parent Trap.
Ah, there you go. But that's the big plot points in Hikaru and Kaoru's from Honor High School Host Club's, you know, arc, and in Migi and Dali's whole deal. it's like the undertones of that.
Well, the big one in Migi and Dali is they actually take it a step further, because you have this idea of, well, they're twins already. They finish each other's sentences. They say things in unison. Like, they're already so close to each other. It's almost like they're the same person. In this show, the plot is they concoct a plan to be the same person. They're just trading places with each other. The idea is that they act so in sync that nobody can tell the difference.
This isn't
at
spoilers.
Least not
this is literally episode 1.
Yeah, this is not spoilers. It's revealed very early. That's what I like about the show. Quick mini tangent. That's why I really like the show. They let the audience know what's going on from episode 1. Like, I think it's kind of more about the spectacle with the mystery going on in the background, the twins mystery. Whereas, like, we're left to kind of assume the side characters don't know what's going on. Like, okay, they're in the dark. As long as they're in the dark, Migi and Dali are safe.
Tate and Liza.
But then
Iris and
Tate
Dahlia.
Liza.
Yes, Iris and Dahlia.
Now that's one where I'm glad the one twin is different from the other, because I could not handle two
from
Dahlias.
Pokemon. Yeah, I can see it, Mason. Yes.
Oh, I forgot from Pokemon. Yeah, it's funny when you look back on media.
Antag.
There's
How you
so
been?
many more twins. Hey, Antag. Welcome. We are talking about twins tonight.
Identical twins, mainly.
Identical, yes. As it says in the title.
Yes, indeed.
I'm sorry, I'm kind of multitasking tonight. I want to get this comic panel done.
She
so
needs to.
I need to. We're on a deadline. Did you know Outcast comes back next week?
Yeah, guys, it comes back less than a week. 6 days. Oh. How crazy.
6 days. Crazy,
You're an
crazy.
unidentical twin, Antag? A fraternal twin?
Oh.
I've known a lot of fraternal twins. Dylan is a fraternal twin with Doug.
Oh. By that extension, I know fraternal twins.
Yes, there you go. Really, really funny coincidence side tangent. I've known 3 sets of fraternal twins that we went to high school with, and all of them were Geminis. That includes Dylan.
Were they really?
Yes, Dylan and Doug are Geminis. Yes, every set,
Okay,
all 3 sets
That I knew.
are Geminis.
I meant the others.
Yeah. The other 2 sets are Geminis as well.
That's
like, I don't
crazy.
actually believe in astrology, but like, damn, you know?
Wait, hold the phone. Gemini is the twins, isn't it?
Yes, that's Castor and Pollux. Yes, that's the funny bit. That's why it's wild AF.
Fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
Oh, it gave me Gemini AI when I looked it up. Screw you.
Yeah,
Get
Castor
outta
and
here.
Pollux.
Okay, that's what I thought, because I'm like, firstly, I just thought it was funny that they all shared Gemini, but then I realized
no,
the
it's
extra
the
layer going on, and I was like,
twin star sign.
oh,
Yeah.
That's where I really had the moment. I was like, God, that is
Twins are
wow.
big in myth too. Romulus and Remus, Castor and Pollux.
Romulus and Remus. Then you have the fraternal twins, Apollo and Artemis. I agree, Mason.
Hold the phone. Rin and Yukio.
Oh, God. I purged Yukio from my brain. Okay. That.
Oh, let's talk about a bad telling of twins, Mars.
Yeah. Well, okay. I'm not sure if it's a bad telling of twins. Honestly, I think I see what the author is trying to do in that Yukio, by trying to be Rin's protector because their father kind of forced that role onto him, I think Yukio's way of coping was putting himself on a pedestal over Rin. I have not read the manga. I've only watched the anime up to season 3. But knowing what goes on and how Yukio responds to everything, not Yu-Gi-Oh.
Not Yukio.
Yukio has a twin too. It's called Digimon.
Ah, no, that's more Pokemon's twin.
That's true. I would say Magic the Gathering, but it doesn't have a TV show based on it.
Yeah, no.
Card Capture Sakura?
Yeah,
It's got
I was
cards in
thinking
the title. But do they use cards?
She does use cards. I don't know. Not really like monsters, though, I don't think.
That's not really
that's a show I've never saw. I've never seen
that one either. I just know of it thanks to the cultural zeitgeist.
Pastry Puff, they are from Blue Exorcist.
Blue Exorcist. And I have a very love-hate relationship with that show because I love Rin. He is the original fire baby. He's so good. I love how determined he is.
I love how he's
willing to overcome, all the shit that life throws at him and still persevere. Like, that's very inspiring. That's very admirable.
He's got all the good shonen vibes.
Is the terrible, terrible brother who
twin
says,
brother.
Oh, you're not twin brother. Yeah.
Yeah, honestly, amazing. Make all the cast women. That'd be better.
Yes. Oh, we have gone on many a rant about this. Nah, Ori, honestly, I think what Yukio's problem is, and I think this was intentional in the writing because it's supposed to be his flaw, is that Yukio, by being Rin's protector, put himself on a pedestal above Rin. So that's why he's constantly saying, I'm the better twin, I'm above this. That's why, quick spoilers for Blue Exorcist, Yukio eventually gets his Satan father's demon powers, just like Rin has. And his world is essentially blown. He's basically like, why do I have demon powers? This can't be possible. And I was like,
it's like, bro,
guy,
you're the fucking identical twin.
Your twin. You
like,
are an identical twin. You were going to get these powers.
You're not a fraternal twin. You're an identical twin, my man. What did you think? What did you expect?
It's definitely meant to be interpreted as this is a flaw of Yukio's that he will eventually, hopefully, overcome. Where he will eventually come off his high horse, realize he's no better.
Yeah,
and I think that's what's happening in the manga, but I cannot confirm. I'm just speculating from a writer's perspective because that seems to be what they're setting up.
Can I be honest?
I just don't enjoy watching Yukio's character.
Yeah, I don't think it's a good flaw. if I'm being completely honest, because the part that gets me the
I
most
think
about
there's
it.
a way to do it while keeping the character
Yes.
likable.
I also
that is
also
the
see
balance.
my issue is that I don't think he needed to necessarily. I mean, I guess with how they want him to be, like they needed him to be likable, but like I feel like you needed to go one way or the other, and they didn't. He's kind of in the middle, right? Because I feel like you could also do this where if the whole point is this like high and mighty thing so that his world comes crumbling down and he realizes he's just the same as this person he thought was lesser than him, right? Great, love the idea. That, that on paper sounds awesome. But you need to make it seem like he always feels that way. At the beginning, it just feels like he's a caring older brother that's kind of done with his younger brother's shits vibes, right? Like he's the responsible one, but he has to protect. Like there's a level of like I feel like there's care here where I don't think there should have been to do what they wanted to do, and it should have been more solely out of obligation, right? He doesn't want to disappoint.
Then you get the scene where he points his gun at his brother, and it just all goes downhill from there.
It's like. And he has demon powers, if I remember correctly.
I think that was the part where I was like, I'm no longer on board for Yukio. Because he's got his gun pointed at his brother, but there is no sense of remorse. There is no, like, semblance of we are brothers. Like, Rin is the one to throw it in his face and say, aren't we brothers? And then Yukio tramples all over that.
But I think that's fine to do. I think you could totally do the, like, it doesn't matter if we're brother related. I don't care. Like, my morals are this way. But they don't do that. We're just supposed to accept that he's still around after they fucking try to kill him. After he fucking tries to kill Rin. He's just around. He's just chill the rest of the, like, I don't know. The next season, I didn't watch season 3. But season 2, we're just supposed to, like, accept that they're like, okay.
I don't remember Yukio in a lot of honestly, in season 3, Yukio was more in the teacher mentor role. It's like he was just kind of guiding everyone through the craziness. But that's the thing, he wasn't given any time to be a brother.
It's just very wishy-washy. At the beginning, it's very like, oh, Rin, be good in school, do good things, I'm here to protect you, I'm your protector. And the way that it's worded, we're talking about Blue Exorcist, Allie, and how upset we are.
Ori, I got a comparison. Okay. So there's a betrayal in Blue Exorcist, right?
Oh, okay. Spoilers stay up.
Keep the spoilers on. Keep the spoilers on. Spoilers for Blue Exorcist and spoilers for Migi and Dolly. Because this is a perfect example.
Migi Dolly spoilers.
2 sets of identical twins. We have a betrayal from Yukio towards Rin. In Migi and Dolly, Dolly has a moment where he betrays Migi. And I personally think it's done so much better in Migi and Dolly. 1, because you understand the motivation going on behind the betrayal. It doesn't make it okay, but you understand where Dolly is coming from.
My brain gets it.
2, you are allowed to be inside Dolly's head, that you understand he feels bad doing this to Migi and hurting him. He is very remorseful. He doesn't want to do this, but he's still thinking about, like, their mission. They have to solve what happened to their mother all those years ago. And 3...
Ends justify the means vibes.
Migi retaliates later on. Later on, Migi calls Dolly out for hurting him and has a betrayal of his own. Now, is that a healthy dynamic by IRL
vindictive?
Standards?
Yes.
No. But in terms of writing,
logic,
it comes full circle.
Good.
It's reciprocal. The character being hurt was allowed to strike back. And I think that balance is very important. Because even after that, Rin is still like, oh no, Yukio's the best. Yukio's this, Yukio's that. I'm like,
he's so chill about it.
Drinking the Kool-Aid. Like,
son was going to kill you. Like
he was going to kill you.
Like
he
right
disowned you as a brother. Like that. Maybe this is what was frustrating about it. Rin acted like it didn't hurt.
I think it's a lot of things. I think it's a lot of things.
With the entire betrayal, quote unquote, where everyone discovered he was the son of Satan, everyone shit to him after that moment. And Rin just kind of like shrugs it, like it's not even treated as a big deal. Now, I don't know if this was because of production time. I don't know if this was because they couldn't adapt the manga, because remember, season 1, they decided to go anime original and they did not adapt the manga. In season 2, they actually gave written time to process everything. And his friend group had to like realize, oh, he's not going to kill us at the drop of a hat. Like,
He's
okay,
the same boy we've
actually
loved
chill.
before.
It's a lot better pace. I know people shit on season 2, but I gotta say, the friends coming back around made so much more sense in season 2 than it did in season 1. Because in season 1, it's literally a blink and you miss it moment.
Yeah,
that
it's
it feels
okay,
like,
Zilla.
what was even the point? What was even the point?
Yeah, I feel like it's just Mars and I are very much in the we could have written it, like we could have done it better. You know what I'm saying? It's very much like a
in the if we
could have
made
done
it, we know how
better.
to fix it.
Yeah, could have done it better. But I'm gonna take spoilers.
Blue Exorcist
down.
is one of those ones that's so frustrating to me because I see the potential, and it has
Yes.
such good potential to be a twin story. Like, honestly, Miki and Dolly is Blue Exorcist done right. I will say it now.
It's very
I
good.
will say it now. Miki and Dolly is Blue Exorcist done right. At least in terms of the twins.
Which series?
Which one,
Miki and
Federico?
Dolly? I would
Miki
say
and Dolly
yes.
or Blue Exorcist?
Miki and
I
Dolly
would say
is
Miki and Dolly
underrated.
is highly underrated.
It was not given a chance by the media by like the public, because a lot of the clips and shorts about it highlight very specific and undoubtedly weird aspects of it. But there's a lot more to it than that, and the context behind those things makes sense in a lot of ways. And so it is just like, is it a weird show? Yeah, it's anime,
It is
but
very
like
weird.
it's not
Are there some
as
things where
weird.
You're gonna be like, God, I'm so glad I'm watching this on phone and not
I
on
wouldn't
TV.
say that it's weirder than like Don
Absolutely.
Don is, you know? Like I wouldn't say that it's weirder than Don
Don
Don.
Don.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that it's weirder than
I'd say
like
it's probably
Sarazamai
up
or
there with Don Don.
yeah, you know, it's
in
it's
terms
anime,
of
so it gets
weirdness.
weird. But I wouldn't say it's like uniquely weird, if that makes any
The
sense.
journey is very worth. Honestly, the reason I love Miki and Dolly, and the reason I love them so much as examples of twins, this would bring up huge spoilers.
Okay.
This would bring up massive spoilers, like spoilers for the end of this series. I don't know if you guys want that. Chat, you let me know.
I feel like that's a
But
lot
there's
of
a reason why I
spoilers.
think Miki and Dolly is a really good series.
I would say
That's
let's just trust
for now.
Mars, all right?
Come on, I've never steered Ori wrong before.
It's good. It's worth it. If you like mystery, it's fun. The ending is really great. Worth
The ending
everything.
is very wholesome. It is the perfect catharsis after
Yeah,
everything
it's
you
very
go through
cathartic.
watching that series. It's so good.
So
And
that's
they do
that's
a really
what
nice send off to the manga writer who sadly passed away.
We put our
faith in Mars? Yeah! Thank
I
you for
put
your
my faith
I
in
will not
Mars.
misuse it.
That's how I donned because of my faith in Mars.
That's how she done.
That's how I donned.
Well, those are my favorite twins, Ori. What are your favorite twins?
I love Hikaru and Kaoru, no question. I think it's they're Oran High School Host Club. I think that their story is great. You know, their moments where they have the story put on them, kind of their background. You know, very, very, like I said before, it's very classic, the twins of like constantly being mistaken for one another, never being able to be told apart, you know, and they play into that a lot, but secretly inside it's like, we want to be different people and we want to be recognized as individuals, and, you know, people not recognizing as individuals kind of sucks a little bit, but, you know, we're gonna use it to our advantage because that's the kind of, you know, if you can't, you know, beat them, join them sort of thing. And so it's very interesting.
Ori, I told you to talk about Oran High School Host Club, not Miki and Dolly.
Well, unlike in Miki and Dolly, well, it's mostly internally together that they overcome their thing with help of extra friends doing other stuff. In Oran High School Host Club, it is specifically the main character that sort of opens their eyes to the light of being like, oh, wait, we are individuals, and people can see that. And it's very fun that way. So it is a bit of a different vibe. Our High School Host Club is very much the main character brings a lot of new perspectives to everybody else that they never thought about before. Very Hotson in a way, in a more wholesome way than Hotson is. Hotson stirs shit up by being a piece of shit. But, you know...
Yeah. The shit stir and the shit producer.
Indeed, indeed. He didn't mean it, guys. Oh,
you know,
side-related things.
Those microaggressions, man.
This is not twins, but it's side because our High School Host Club reminded me of it. So I'm watching an anime called The Pretty Boy Detective Club. And honestly, it's 99% I'm watching, not 99, 90% I'm watching it for the aesthetics because, like, it's very artful, is the best way to put it. Artfully beautiful. Story-wise, you know, it's just kind of goofy, whatever. You know, it's a ride, and that's all you need. But, so in Arnold High School Host Club, the main character is, you know, mistaken for a boy at the beginning and then is, you know, constantly dressed up as a boy to be part of the host club with the other boys because it's important this way. So in Pretty Boy Detective Club, the main character is also a girl that ends up dressing as a boy completely of her own volition, which is very interesting. So we have fun gender things there. My favorite part, though, is that the leader of the Pretty Boy Detective Club, he's, you know, and it's specifically Pretty Boy Detective Club, and this sort of thing, and like, be a boy is one of the things, but boy is much more being, like, boyish than being, like, a male, right? In the context of it. But the whole point is he constantly goes under disguise specifically as a girl. And it's like, all right.
Ooh, okay. We're here for that.
We know what you really want, my guy. And he has such a good time. It's great. Audience. It's great. It's very beautiful. What anime has a special place in our hearts?
Ooh.
I feel like I can interpret this two ways. And the first way I'm going to interpret in an anime that I will never recommend to anybody. Please don't watch it. It's not worth it. I love Fairy Tail, but not because it's good. It's very not good overall, if I'm being completely honest. The more I, like, watch of it, it's definitely like, wow, this is very, like, that period of time shonen anime, right? Which is
it's
not
like,
that
yes,
great.
This did not age well.
But, like, for all of the one-off moments and you know, getting to see my boy Natsu, Jesus Christ. Natsu, just kick-ass. It's good shit, but, like... It, you know, just like a lot of shonen anime of the time, it has its moments, but overall there's a lot of, like, with it. Yeah, Fairy Tail's my guilty pleasure. Don't watch it. I do not recommend it. If I, like, 100%, it's not. It is too much time to put into something kind of subpar related. If I want to say one that's kind of like, I feel like is not heard about as much, but I really enjoy, Princess Tutu. Princess Tutu is really good. And even, like, that, you know, I feel like Arn High School Host Club is way more in the zeitgeist than Princess Tutu. Basically, no one's ever heard of it. It's a magical girl anime that's done in, like, it's like an older one, so it's more like Arn High School Host Club era stuff. So it's done in that style. And it's with a lot of ballet and dance and, like, fairy tales. It's very fun. It's all like classical music and stuff. It's specifically a magical girl, and she, like, doesn't fight. Like, she doesn't fight. She actually, like, does, like, bringing people peace sort of thing. You know, she's like with dancing and emotions sort of thing. It's very good. Has my reverse Sasuke boy Fakir. Love him. Love him. If you like just soft, good story, you know, anime that has a lot of, like, slightly more niche fairy tales going on with it, you know, but it has, like, the Nutcracker, very classic ballet, you know, but it has, like, it's very much ballet, like, fairy tales, so, like, Swan Lake, the Nutcracker, you know, Giselle, like very classic, you know, those sort of things. So if you like that sort of thing, I do recommend. It's very fun. It's much deeper than you expect it to be when you first see it, but it's very good. one that I will recommend all the time, no matter what, Art High School Host Club, 100%. That anime is still really good. Kind of timeless overall. It has its moments that are kind of like a little of its time, but even for that time, still pretty damn good about it. So like,
not half bad.
Yeah, highly recommend that one. What are yours, Mars, in those categories?
Ooh.
So what's one you would never recommend, but you like it? You like it.
Ooh, one I would never recommend.
Yeah.
Yikes! I'm gonna have to look at my list.
Oh.
What's something I personally liked but would not recommend?
Yeah, guilty pleasure, where you really wouldn't recommend it to any people. Maybe to someone, you know, I won't say no one ever, but like, I mean, for me, Fairy Tail is like, it's not worth it, guys. Like, there's just too much content. You know what I'm saying? It's just, it's too long to be worth it. So those are the categories. One you like, so guilty pleasure, right? However you want to interpret that. And then
so
hidden gem and like of all time. You know, you're like always every anime fan needs to see this sort of thing. What are your those like that?
Ooh. Okay, so I could go
very,
one
no,
of two
yeah,
options.
very Federico. Exactly, yes. Oh, but are you talking about
options for
Strange
guilty
Magic
pleasures?
Sugar Plum Fairy?
I think, okay, so a very easy guilty pleasure answer would be Fire Force. I really like the concept of these firefighters going out. They have these magical powers, often flame related, very cool, and putting out these sentient fires, usually people who experience combustion and now need to be basically extinguished, essentially. It's a very interesting premise. It's kind of along the lines of like people getting possessed by curses and needing to be exorcised, but like do it with fire instead. It's a cool concept, and I did latch on to it. I really liked Shinra, the main character. He's
this
pretty
just
fun.
Free but women. I'm sorry. I looked up Keijo.
Free but women?
Keijo, and everything looks like it's just free but women.
Oh, okay. I was like, huh?
Which I'm not hacking at all. I've never seen Free, but you know, Free definitely did some things, but it definitely looks like it's just Free with women.
I saw season 1 of Free. I never returned to it, and I don't know why. It wasn't bad or anything.
Free
is a
swimming
sports anime about
sports
swimming.
anime, but it's all guys, and it's very gay without being gay. You know, very classic.
It's definitely one of those classic.
It's definitely the classic sports anime of like
these characters,
this
but they're
is
never
merely a BL.
Canon.
If it wasn't a sports anime, you know, it's one of those animes that made sports anime very BL coded so we could get Yuri on Ice. You know what I'm saying? Like,
exactly. It's up
one
there
of the
with
early
IQ.
ones.
It's up there
Welcome
with
back,
the classics.
Yeah,
Hi,
Haikyuu's
Nikia.
another one. I gotta watch that rugby one, man. That one.
Oh yeah, that one seems interesting.
That one seems to be in the same vein as well.
But yeah, what else I liked about Fire Force? Shinra as a brother. I gotta say, I like my older brother characters. I've always loved Edward Elric. I like Rin Okumura, and I do like Shinra. He's a very good older brother. I love the journey he goes on to find his younger brother. That's really fun. The reason I put in the guilty pleasure category is because the writing in season 1, from episode 1 to 7, I think, if I'm remembering correctly, is so bad. The writing in season 1 for those first 7 episodes is so bad, and the pacing is off, and the timing of the jokes is off. Like, I know we talk about anime holding on shots for too long, and Ori and I have talked about that as a positive. Like, you have this nice artwork to look at, and you don't have to spend a lot for movement animation. It feels like it's holding on things it should not be holding on. And it holds on it for way too long. Like, it's kind of like when you have a scene going, but the wrong kind of music is playing in the background. Like, this is exciting music. Something exciting should be happening right now. It's not like Blue Lock Season 2. It's not PowerPoint, the animation. It just has some very strange timing. And then the other hurdle you got to get past is, I believe her name is Tamaki. Let me look this up real quickly. Nope, not that Tamaki.
Yeah, really. I'm like,
Tamaki Fire Force.
I'm like,
Not Tamaki
Tamaki's
from My
a
Hero.
pretty common one, and I bet I know
It's
who
a
comes up
very
first.
common one. No, we are talking Tamaki from Fire Force. She's a fun character. I like that her power is basically turning into a fire kitsune to attack. That's pretty cool. What I don't like about her is that her character gimmick is losing her clothes at the most inopportune situation. And I was nearly turned off of Fire Force because they decided to throw this joke in a middle of a come to moment scene, you know, like that moment where the character has a realization. It's a very powerful moment. There's a sweeping music, you're sucked into the moment, and then all of a sudden they throw that joke in. It's like, oh, okay, moment gone. You killed any investment I had in that scene. Thanks for that. Also, the villain is standing like 2 feet in front of you, and you're going to do this? Like, it just felt so ludicrous to me. I nearly dropped Fire Force after that.
You
So
did
that
for
was
a
episode
while,
6.
and then you had to come back to it later, I think.
Yeah, so I returned to it maybe a year later because COVID happened and I had nothing better to do. So I started watching it again, and the strangest thing happened. By episode 7, the writing was suddenly interesting. The new characters were pretty badass. The pacing wasn't bad. I was laughing at the jokes. And even with Tamaki's gimmick, it got to a point where it was so ludicrous, and the show knew it was ludicrous, that I could laugh at it. That I was finally like, okay, they are acknowledging how absurd this is, and they are playing into it. It's also not interrupting scenes that should be emotional powerhouses, so that's a plus. And season 2 is pretty good as well. They do some good world expansion, some world building. I would say that one's a guilty pleasure because, it's got its problems. Honestly, the first season was the worst. That was the hurdle. I have never had to wait 6 episodes for something to get good. That was wild to me. But I found it to be kind of worth it in the end. So that wasn't too bad. But a different guilty pleasure, I actually just saw it. Where did it go?
Mars watches so much anime, guys. No, you only get one guilty pleasure. You gotta move on to the next one.
And that's my guilty pleasure. Okay, the one I actually hold near and dear to my heart I would recommend.
That you would recommend to any anime fan. What's that one?
Megalobox.
Ah, yeah. I could have guessed that.
Down Megalobox. The writing is impeccable. It is the right balance of saying just enough without over-explaining. The characters are animated so well. Like, you can tell in a moment what a character is feeling. You can tell when they're feeling betrayed. You can tell when they're feeling nervous. You can tell when something someone else said, like, got to them, but they don't want to show it on the outside, so they're, like, pulling back against that feeling. Like, the effort is incredible. It has some of my favorite lines, some of my favorite scenes in anything ever. It does really come with a heavy trigger warning. It does come with a trigger warning for PTSD, and it comes with a trigger warning for attempted suicide. So
slide, Mars, slide.
I said sewer.
Yeah, sewer slide. That's the joke.
Oh, sewer slide. My bad.
Yeah,
my bad.
Get it right.
So
get your
it does come
right.
with a potential warning for that. That's only in episodes, I believe it's either 6 or 7. And it does play a role in the story. There's a diverse cast. It talks about, like, class struggle, which is very interesting. And it does it from this very, like, wacky perspective of, we're going to analyze all this. We're going to look at different characters. We're going to do a character study. We're going to talk about classism through the lens
I have not, Federico. Mars has.
With robot arms.
Yes.
It's crazy how much they managed
great.
to pull off. Also, the animation is very reminiscent of classic 90s anime. Think
It's a
90s
common
drawings
thing, Zilla?
with the polish of modern day anime. Like, I swear. Classic
And
90s
the
anime
music
drawings
is
with
really
the polish
good.
of
The
Demon Slayer.
soundtrack is
It's
fantastic.
insane.
Oh my gosh. It's a very good watch.
Oh, yes, I have seen Death Note, Federico.
Yes, I have not.
I know Mason is currently watching it, so be careful of
no
spoilers.
spoilers.
I remember you told me where you were in that, Mason, but I don't know if you watched anything since then, so I don't want to risk it. I do really like Death Note, Federico. I actually just rewatched it with a friend of mine, and I took her through the whole thing. We were on the ride. Part 1 is still the best. I do like part 2 of Death Note, but I gotta say that first core is there was nothing else like it, except maybe Code Geass. Except maybe Code Geass. Howdy, Estrock.
Hello, Estrock.
Welcome.
All right, finally, Mars, finally. What is your sort of hidden gem anime? An anime that maybe isn't for everyone.
Sarazanmai.
Yes, I probably could have guessed that one too.
It's Sarazanmai, hands down, it's Sarazanmai.
There you go. It's weird.
That one,
it has anime
that
weirdness.
One took me to a new emotional
but it's
level.
very good, story-driven wise. And the
It's
side
very good
character story
story-driven
is
wise.
wild too. Like, oh, whoa.
The side character story is wild. It's got gay cops, gay otter cops.
Gay
Let's
otter
go,
cops. It's
my
good
boys.
shit. I mean, it rips your heart out, but it's good shit.
Oh, it rips your heart out, but it is good shit. I fucking love Sarazanmai. That was basically my first one where I went to Ori and I was like, this one's gonna be weird, but stick with it.
I feel like for Mars and I, we both confirmed. I'm okay with weird. Oh, BNA is good too. I love BNA was very good.
Oh, that's a good one too.
Shiro, oh, love him. But
I wouldn't mind a BNA season 2, honestly.
yeah, it'd be good. But yeah, Mars and I are at the point where it's
story.
like we could definitely do weird. The only thing I think I avoid is the sad endings. Like that's why I will never watch Banana Fish. Ever.
This is why I had no problem forcing Migi and Dolly on Ori, because I was like, Ori, it's gonna be weird, but the ending is so fucking wholesome. You are going to forgive me for everything.
Yes. And she was right. She was right.
Literally the most wholesome
Mars
ending
has yet to steer me wrong.
Anything.
Yep, Mars has yet to steer me. Every anime I've watched based on a Mars recommendation has been great. Whether she's watched it or not, I will say. Oh no, that's a lie. She did one, and that was Space Battleship Tiramisu. But we had no idea what we were getting into.
That promo art fooled me.
It
so
really
sad.
did. It really. All of the art fooled me.
I did not know it was going to be Incel the anime. Sadly. God, that was terrible.
So terrible.
That was so bad. Guys, sometimes the promotional art can steer you right, and other times it can steer you so very wrong.
I don't know that
I have not watched Serial Experiment Lane. I have heard of it. I really like the opening. It's very catchy. But it's on my list. I gotta get to that one.
Honestly,
first,
the next anime I actually have to watch. Yes, Mars has to watch Naturally. Mars keeps pushing on which I highly recommend. I know Mason hates it. If you want a fun, goofy, classic shonen, but it's literally a comedy and it plays on a lot of shonen tropes, Mashley is a fun time. Yeah, Allie, it's called Space Battleship Tiramisu.
I have been in the shonen genre. I'm ready for some shonen parody. Let's go. Yeah, Spaceship Battleship.
No, Mason, she will, and she will like it.
I think it's gonna be good, Mason. Don't knock it till you try it.
It is gonna be good. Oh, season 1, funny, a fun time, enjoyable. Definitely has some classic tropes. Like one of the big anime tropes that I see is like having like certain weird complexes, but the second thing tones it down a lot. Like so in the first season, one of the characters is very obsessed with his like little sister in like logically a fine way. You know, it's just played up for the jokes and stuff. All of their personalities are played up for the jokes and stuff. In season 2, while they still have these defining characteristics, they mellow out to a point where it's like not as blatantly this is all they are sort of thing. You have like just more friendship stuff going on, which is good, and it's good. Again, I don't think season 1 is bad, but
vibes.
then like I enjoyed season 1. Obviously, I watched all of it, and then I watched season 2, and I was like, this is great. When I went back and watched it again with Dylan, I'm definitely like, okay, season 1 is not as good as season 2. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's definitely like season 2
really
is
funny
better.
when you get to those points, and it's like, oh, wow, I remember that being a lot better on my own.
I think it's exactly like what happens when you are like part of a webcomic and stuff. It's just like you don't have a reference yet. Right? You know, if you start Outcast, you don't have a reference to what my art is now. But if you guys
our
go
later
back,
episodes are going to be better than our first.
Well, 100. You're learning along the way. You know, over the course of years, 100%. I'm specifically talking about the art, but like the writing will get better and all this sort of stuff. You don't realize it right away, right? If you're in it and you've read it through the, from the beginning to wherever it is now, it's like, oh wow, this is really good. I like it where it is now. When you go back and you read it again, it's like, oh wow, like the art really has improved. Oh yeah, the writing really has improved. You know, you didn't have a reference before, so I think that's what happens.
Flanderization and reverse pastry, but maybe I see it as the characters settling, or maybe the writers realize, oh, we don't have to rely on this one gimmick.
I see it as the joke switches, if that makes sense. In season 1, the joke is you're meeting all these characters, right? Yeah, exactly.
That was interesting.
Exactly.
I was listening to a video essay earlier tonight, and it was interesting. It was by a guy on YouTube. He's called The Mysterious Mr. Enter, and he just uploaded an episode about Panini from the show Chowder that used to air on Cartoon Network. And he was talking about basically how people nowadays are saying, oh, Panini was a bad character. Look at how she harasses Chowder. And he's talking about like this was made in the 2000s and now we're analyzing it with a modern lens. Is it right to do that? It was
and
an
adult lens.
Video. Exactly, because they're children. That was actually one of his big arguments, and I found it very fascinating. But one of the things he brings up when it comes to comedies is that the reason flanderization happens is because, especially in a comedy, if your character is running off this one joke, that means you're going to have to keep upping the joke to get people to laugh. You're going to have to come up with more absurdist scenarios. You're going to have to come up with more extreme responses. You're going to have to come up with more ways to get the audience to laugh. And that could lead to, comedy. It wouldn't be comedy if it didn't cross a line, because at some point that's going to happen. But it could also lead, like if they didn't push the envelope and it was the same joke over and over, then it would get boring, like you said, Ori. So with the writers switching focus from those over-the-top tropes to something different, I think that was very smart. Because one, then they don't risk flanderization, and two, it keeps the comedy fresh for the audience.
Martha, it seems like
that was very smartly
person
played.
You're referencing is kind of controversial.
Is he?
Apparently he might be the guy who said Turning Red should have had 9/11 in it.
Oh yeah. He actually called himself out on that.
Oh, did he? That's good.
He did a while ago. There was a video about his top 10 dumbass moments, and he called himself out on a lot of things. Which, I will give people credit when they do that. Because what often happens is people either disappear into the ether because they either can't face it or they can't come back out. Or they double down and say, no, I was right. I think it's big that I actually came up and said,
definitely.
nope, I was wrong. And here's 9 other things I was wrong about. Oh, it's funny. I watched him in middle school. Then I unfollowed for a while. And now I started watching him again in this new era. And his videos are becoming a lot more thoughtful. It's a lot less of him yelling at the video and more so like actually doing an analysis.
I've never watched anything of it, so I don't have a comment on this person. I was gonna say something though, and I've completely blanked. We were talking about Flanderization. Oh yeah, so in Mashley,
yes. Well,
I think
you were talking about Mashley from season 1 to season 2.
So yeah, the folk. I think what is the main thing is that you meet, quote unquote, like the main cast friend group in season 1, right? So then in season 2, you're not meeting any more main cast friend group people. So if they were just annoying the whole time, it'd be like, why are they around all the time?
Then you're in trouble.
Yeah. So yeah, it's definitely like, ooh, I like this character.
I think then you run into Boruto's
and I like this
problem.
character, and then you go back and you're
At
like,
least from what I hear,
ooh, they were really like, they were over the top in the first one. But yeah, it was I like it. It's definitely a spoof, joke anime. Don't go in there with serious stuff. But it has its like classic shonen speech moments, with like the good, like hard-hitting, like, ooh, that's so real, like lines and stuff. Surrounded by like absurdity.
Did Lisa get Flanderized as Strzok? Absolutely. If you're talking about Lisa Simpson, yes. Honestly, I think every character in The Simpsons got Flanderized.
I think it's just easier at a certain point. You know what I'm saying? As well. It's just...
It's easier to lean into the character's most recognizable traits.
I think I think it's difficult to have a show run so long with the intent of being the same and not start Flanderizing, right? Does that mean? And I specifically say with the intent of remaining 100%. The same, because Adventure Time ran a very long time, but it never intended to be the same show. See, the early seasons
that show was
very
constantly
different
changing
than the later seasons, right? And Finn the human grows up. He ages within the show, right? He starts and he's 12. And he ends and he's like 17. So like this is a 5-year span of like very formative years, of a person. He changes, the whole thing changes, and I think that's important. That's why Finn never feels Flanderized, right? Jake has moments where it's like, oh, he's gonna be, and then it's like, no, there's more to it than that, and you're like, oh shit, there's more to it than that.
And that puts everything in a new light.
Mm-hmm.
Your favorite twins are Yoon and Yang.
Strzok says
and
favorite.
You and your sister.
Yeah.
You're a twin?
Are you a Gemini, Strzok? This is important for research.
Please. Are you a Gemini?
I need to know, Strzok. We need data points about this. Oh shit! Look up. I mean, I would ask you your birthday, but I won't ask you that. Look it up. I need to know. Strzok, you missed it, but I literally talked about there are 3 sets of twins that I have known.
No, don't reveal it yet. Don't reveal it yet. It's funnier if we get the answer. It's much funnier if we get the answer first, and then we respond why. I'm so curious. Oh my god, if you are a Gemini, though.
I need to know.
I'm gonna lose my mind.
Ah, you're a cusper. Honestly, pretty close enough for me, if I'm being honest.
I feel like we could still count
close enough for me. Close enough for me. Yeah, Strzok, I know 3 sets of twins, and all of them are Geminis. Obviously, each set is both a Gemini, but like all 3 sets are Geminis, which is fucking wild.
It's crazy. So when you said you were a twin, we had to know.
I had to know
if you were also a Gemini.
And the fact that you're that so close is still pretty wild. Like maybe this is copium. Maybe I just want it to be. But like,
It's premature.
oh snap! It feels like this feels like trauma age. You know, you're more likely to have your trauma age be 9. You're more likely to be a Gemini when you're a twin, you know, or a twin when you're a Gemini, something like that, right?
I mean, hey, that's how it was in Call the Name of the Night that I was reading the other day. Mira it literally says in the character description, 9 to 10 years, and she has a lot of trauma.
Yep.
Who are you drawing, Remy?
So this is Detective Grimoire from Tangled Tower, and this is Detective Hawkshaw from Tangled Tower. I have been slowly uploading the videos for that as our Psychic Sidekick or higher level YouTube channel members. They will become free eventually. Once I have them all completed, I will start releasing them on a schedule to everybody. The extra games we play, I don't want to start releasing them before I have them all edited out, literally solely because I don't want to have to worry about trying to keep some sort of schedule or not. So if you want to watch what we have now, after I finish these 2 thumbnails, there will be 7 that you can see. That's all of the first stream. There will probably be roughly 21 episodes total, and that's what that's about. It's Mars, myself, and Cinderblock Sally, and it's from the time when Dylan was taking the bar exam, studying for the bar exam.
Our guest, our honored guest.
Yes, our honored guest. It is actually the second game of the Detective Grimoire series that we will be playing in 3 weeks. Mars and I will be playing the first game because that's actually a really interesting thing. The studio that made Tangled Tower and, of course, the first Detective Grimoire Secret of the Swamp, they made snipper clips. Snipper clips? The clip friend 2-player thing? 2-player couch co-op thing where you snip each other? Snipper clip? I think it's called snipper clips. It's a Switch game.
I think I know the one you're talking about,
and I had seen people really talk about it. Yeah, it's called Snipper Clips. Same studio. It's a small studio.
That is wild.
Yeah. So.
Okay.
They got some bangers, is all I'm saying. Not Cindy Stone. Yeah, right?
Also, Mason, I don't think it's bad that you're fascinated by trauma and PTSD. I mean, I'm fascinated by what makes people tick personality-wise, what they respond to. That's why I love talking about characters and writing them so much.
Yes, I'm so excited for Mermaid's Mask. And
everyone knows I traumatize my OCs.
In theory, so it was supposed to come out this year, but they ended up having one of their games that they came out with. It's called Crow Country. Be up for like a bunch of awards and stuff, so they were doing a lot more stuff with that, and they pushed back Mermaid's Mask.
Oh, nice.
But it should come out this year, hopefully. And I'm very excited to play that one eventually. The art style is just gorgeous, if I'm being honest. The first game, Detective Grimoire: Secret of the Swamp, is a different art style. It's a much earlier kind of Flash game vibes. But the Tangled Tower art style, and now what they seem to be sticking with for this series, is just fantastic. And while we weren't like super satisfied with Tangled Tower, I have hope either somehow this ties together, which would be kind of neat, or just, you know, improvement overall. But the experience itself was overall worth it. So definitely be playing more of their Tangled Tower related Detective Grimoire games. 100%. The art direction,
they were very
is just
fun.
On point. Oh my god. On point. Great. I'm sorry. I'm literally just looking at their backgrounds. It's gorgeous. Gorgeous. Those new grounds?
Yeah,
that makes sense.
Have a Switch.
Yes, we do have a Switch. This
Switch
is something
is my
else.
main console, honestly.
Nintendo in general is my main gaming thing. I have personally never owned anything, console or handheld, that has not been a Nintendo gaming device. My father once upon a time had a PS2. I never played it. I do own a PS4 controller because it integrates with Steam on the PC very well. But yeah, beyond that, I'm a Nintendo girly through and through.
Yep. Same here.
Yep. That's a classic, S-Jock. I'm glad you're utilizing it to the fullest extent. And Addie's paying the price. Oh no, Mason.
Oh, poor Addie.
Yes, the Lee siblings and Link Click. And that's one that's specifically fraternal, but basically not. I guess technically Ford and Stan would be fraternal, but basically not.
Yeah, I think that falls into the same category.
I don't currently yet, Mason. I feel like I don't personally have enough story. I'm also not I'm not an analyzing person. We got Pastry Puff and Mars for that. If I'm being completely honest, as a human, I'm there for the ride 99% of the time. I think the most theorizing I do.
I'm literally the one on the couch screaming during Link Click, and Ori's just like,
Yeah, I'm like, oh, nice. Yeah, I like that. I like that. I will say, I did theorize a lot with Link Click after season 2.
You did theorize a lot with that one. I feel like that was your gateway.
Oh, there you go, Patty and
theorizer.
Selma. We got it. Yeah, there's lots of twins in media, which is funny by how, rare apparently they are if some of you guys have never met any in real life. At least, never met identical twins.
People are just fascinated by the concept of twins, writers
it's
especially.
It's such an odd... But what I think is so funny about that, though, is that it's only really odd for humans and probably, like, elephants. Because when you think about lots of other animals having, babies, they have litters.
Yeah.
They're all twins by our, definition of fraternal twin.
Standard.
Right? They're all born on the same day, So it's just very funny that us as humans are, like, so enamored by the concept.
It's definitely one of those things that's unique to people, which is very fascinating.
I did not hear about that. I really don't Simpsons very much. I know Simpsons as like it's a cultural touchstone and not I ever watched it, if that makes sense.
I did not know there was controversy surrounding this character outside of the Flanderization. I'm curious, is this recent controversy or like past controversy?
Side tangent. This pose for Grimoire is based off Kay's pout face. I used her as reference.
Look at that.
Look at that. Use all your reference, folks. Oh, that's a side thing. Mars. This is first Mars is hearing of this, guys. Okay. But I believe it was Federico commented on, I think it was a YouTube short, that we should make an Ace Attorney abridged version. Based on the games, not the anime. And I checked, there's only one current abridged version, and it's based on the anime, and it only has episodes 1 through 4 abridged. And in my humble opinion, it's kind of mid. It's a little mid. Dylan was actually incredibly into the idea. And I told him, hey, Dylan, give me proof of concept, Write a script. 1 episode per case.
I am all for messing with that first case because we played that first case in that first game so straightforward. Like, we didn't ad-lib.
Yeah,
we weren't really joking. We were just trying to figure out how to play the game.
We had tech issues and a lot of stuff happening there. But
I think we could make that 10 times funnier.
Well, we would do all of them abridged, and it wouldn't be on a set schedule if it is something to do, because it would be a lot of editing compared to other stuff.
No, that would be like a surprise. This is happening.
Think
you
that
get
the
a treat
first
today.
one is that funny, because if I'm being honest, it doesn't matter how good or bad it does on the channel. It's if I enjoyed doing it, solely because I'm the one doing the longest portion of the work. So if I hated making it, then it's like, no. Yeah,
that was.
never happened. Never happened, Allie. Never
We
happened.
only do it if Ori does not hate making it.
Who's my twin butter? AI? Oh no.
Uh-oh.
But I think having Dylan write it with the jokes and stuff is very funny. He's the comic guy of us all. I think he'd do abridged vibes justice, you know? He's quite the connoisseur of abridged. Very early in our relationship, things that what we watched was him showing me the abridged Helsing Ultimate Abridged and SAO Abridged. Those
Been
were
on my list for
big
forever.
things.
One of my old roommates keeps recommending that to me, and
Helsing
I've been
Ultimate?
debating. Abridged.
Oh yeah, it has a lot of things that Dylan and I used to quote for a lot. Oh, I did it! Haha.
I did it. I love it.
Ah. Yeah, they have to be cousins. They can't be twins because, well, I guess it could be twins if it was I saw it, Frank saw it, and I saw it.
Oh, there we go. Look at that. It all comes together.
What is my brain doing? I need to go here.
Let's see.
Thumbnails. I want to save before anything happens. Beautiful. So yeah. See, this is work I can actually get done. Lining stuff, the comic stuff I would really have to be doing like a background, and I didn't want to have to do that on stream. It takes a lot more brain power. Oh, DBZ Abridged is another one.
Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged. I know that one is out there too.
But I looked into it. I was like, has anyone done Ace Attorney? And only someone has done the first 4 episodes of the anime, which we wouldn't be going off the anime. We'd specifically be going off the games. Because that's what we know. And so nobody's done it, so it could be fun. And also, guys, cool secret. Oh, 100% S-Drock, yes. Yes. Yeah. No, we do like the Federico. Dylan was like, yes, let's do it right away when I mentioned the comment to him. So, I feel like he definitely inspired him. Now, the question is, can I get him out of his hyperfixation enough to actually write it? We'll see. But he seemed pretty gung-ho about it, so hopefully.
Because I gotta be honest, Ori, I ain't writing that.
No. This is a Dylan would be doing it thing. Oh yeah,
Perfect.
S-Drock. I like. I started that video. And Dylan immediately is like, we could do so much better. Dylan's immediately like, no. We could do so much better. So I'm very curious as to what he comes up with. But again, specific sticking point is we would be doing it off the games. So all the visuals would be the game visuals. And I actually have a Google document folder that contains all of the individual assets from the original trilogy remastered version. So I could like make all of the assets. Does that make sense?
Ooh.
So it would look very real, if that makes any sense.
That would be amazing.
It could look very real.
Let's do it.
Yeah,
Holy shit, this is gonna be awesome.
So we could see.
You know me, I love my side projects.
Oh yes. Again, if it is something that we do, it would be very like as it happens, no sort of timeline or anything.
It's fair.
I think that's only in the newer remasters. I don't think they have that in the original trilogy one, because that one's kind of old. But Pastry Puff or anyone else could correct me. Yeah. Pastry Puff, does the original Ace Attorney Trilogy remaster have custom stuff you compose?
Ooh.
I know that there's a lot of art stuff in the
that opens up some
newer
possibilities.
remasters, but not in I know there's a lot of art stuff in the newer, like in the Apollo Justice Trilogy and the Investigations duology, but I didn't think that there was that for the first trilogy. Wild.
I just tried printing a couple things. Here is hoping my printer does not betray me.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Pastry Puff,
that's what I thought. I think it's
would be
just
cool to have some custom stuff.
The newer ones. Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure you're correct for like Apollo Justice and possibly Investigations, because they did start. I know Apollo Justice had a lot more like art and like fun different outfits and stuff. You know, like I've never played it, but I know that like our community was talking about it. TGAA.
Ah.
Yeah, I don't think it exists for the original trilogy either, Pastry Puff. I never saw like an area with the settings. You know?
Interesting.
Very interesting indeed. But I do think I could definitely do it. Yeah.
I think we can make it happen.
The main thing would just be no time schedule on it. No schedule at all.
That's the big one.
The big one. So we already got all the other stuff. All the regular videos.
Yes. And that is a lot.
Oh, look at that, Strong. Look at that. Yeah, very forward thinking with the games. It's always wild to see how the games sprite stuff. There's like, guys, there is not enough fucking time in this world because, God, does game design look fucking cool? I love seeing the indie games like Tangled Tower and anything by Student Investigrave and being like, game is good, but the art carries, you know what I'm saying? And it's just like, I'm an artist.
It's a lot of work.
I want someone to make a game with me, but yeah, it is a lot of work and a lot of time, and I have no idea how to games.
Hey, if you want someone to write the story of the game,
this is the problem.
I don't know what else to do for you.
The problem we have, Mars, is that nobody out there to
program.
Yeah,
that's the biggest one.
Oh, it definitely is. Is it definitely? I think posing is definitely easier on a 3D model, 100%. Custom posing, yes. Which part of you is scared about it? Because brain is small, Allie. Because like the art bit, I'm like, hell yeah, let's go. Right? The coding bit. And I know there's like fucking makers and shit, but it's just like, oh my god, I like briefly looked into it after Willow of Star Apprentice was like talking about how they changed their game from RPG Maker to Godot. And I was like, ooh, what are the differences here? I don't do game stuff. And I was like looking and I was like, this is a lot. Braid stuff. Yeah, I agree, Allie. I agree. That's the one thing. That's the one type of friend I didn't find. And you... Ugh, I don't even know how to process this. Brain is so small. Oh my goodness.
It's funny because, guys, in high school, I did take an intro to computer programming course because I was like, oh, maybe I do want to go into programming. Who knows? Maybe I'll like it. I didn't like it. It was so soul crushing.
I feel like coding.
I did not like programming at all. There were just, I don't know. For some reason, it felt like sheet music all over again. My brain just could not figure out, why does this particular line with this particular punctuation result in this response from the system? Like, it's so tiny.
I feel like if I was taught a certain way, I could very much get into coding. But I never took an actual class with a teacher or a professor. I tried to do some coding on the free like code camp or whatever, and I just really didn't retain any of it. Oh yeah,
that was a big one.
I just really didn't retain any of it. You know, I did it, I was going through the motions, but it wasn't sticking or anything. And
it's just not enjoyable.
Oh, I see, Pastry Puff. Thank you for making it for layman's like us.
Much appreciated.
Like, I love math, and I enjoyed, like, proofs and stuff. I didn't dislike proofs. So I feel like logic and proofs. So I feel like if it was taught to me in a way,
they do kind of go hand in hand.
Do it, and I could have a decent time. But I just feel like it's just you know, the self-learning method is not it, and I don't have such a desire to you know, spend money, you know, to take a class or something.
That's a big one too. Not wanting to spend the money because it's just like, no. Not today.
I don't know
please.
if you did, Esdrock, but we are to a certain extent. I believe we're all interested in fucking the Alba dating sim. I believe we all find that to be an intriguing idea. There's a few other ones that are like funny crossover games that I had seen that I could feel as a fun possibility time. But I don't think we would be against it. We're definitely not blatantly against it. If there's one that is like highly recommended or, you know, stuff, like I could definitely see us playing it. But yeah, we do have a long way to go. Because I wouldn't want to play a single fan case until we're done to avoid all the spoilers.
Yeah, that's...
Oh, goodness.
Therein lies the issue.
Jesus, semicolons.
We just don't want to risk running into spoilers. You guys want the authentic reactions. You want the authentic experience.
Yeah. So wild. But yeah, I think that's the biggest thing. If there was one that a lot of you guys like really recommended for whatever reason, we probably would say yes. And then if you steered us wrong,
such a massive recommendation, then yeah,
we wouldn't trust you again.
but if you steer us wrong, I don't know, guys. I don't know.
No, definitely when I look at what's the word? When I look at like when I type in like Ace Attorney to get the like Twitch one, like so many come up. So
oh yeah. It's kind of insane, honestly.
But yeah. Is there one that you guys are totally in for?
Yes. Anyone you're dying for us to play?
My brain has died.
Oh no.
It's a fun community that holds like contests based on themes, and some of those are great too. Like they have a theme, and then it's like make a game, but like specifically an Ace Attorney fan game. We're talking about Ace Attorney fan games and fan cases, Pastry Puff. And if there's ones that y'all are particularly like, oh, this is good,
Itching
you should
for us
play
to
it.
play.
Yeah, because we're definitely not against at all.
Oh no,
We've played many. Honestly, I totally love indie games, and if I'm being honest, there is nothing yet that scratches the itch that Ace Attorney has, you know? So there's definitely a part of me that it's like, oh no, when Ace Attorney is over, what are we gonna do? I'm very I will
There'll
say
never be another one like it.
because like I said, like Tangle Tower, it's not what I wanted totally though. You know, there's a lot of great stuff in it. Definitely enjoyed,
Like,
but it just
so
isn't
close.
it yet. Paradise Killer, very much not it at all. Very much not it at all.
Paradise Killer was way off the mark. I don't know who compared it to Ace Attorney.
Yeah, I don't know.
You were on a list now.
That
whoever you are.
That one is too different.
You are on the not to be trusted list.
Star Apprentice. What we've seen, great. Very excited for the next one. You know, the full version. Very, very fun. That's really all the mystery ones we've done so far. I definitely want to get to Murder by Numbers eventually. Yeah. Again, as long as there is the infinite lives as like a cushion, I'd be happy.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot of struck. Some of those are full games. Jesus. I've definitely heard conflict of interest and contempt of court. I haven't heard like when I search up Ace Attorney, right, in the Twitch thing to put in the game. I haven't heard secret turnabout or turnabout substitution. I've seen that one. Pastry Puff, and I definitely would debate that one as well. I've seen that one. That one looks fun. Yes, the latent games are definitely an option. I
know they're a bit more puzzle heavy.
But I'm okay with that because we liked that in Tangle Tower.
We did good with the escape room.
Yes, and we did do good with the escape room. I think it would be okay. The visual novels, it would really, really depend, Federico. And I think the main thing is I want something to do, if that makes sense, right? Ace Attorney is a visual novel while you're solving a mystery, right? I love the character interactions. We love the story, but like I'm not just reading a book, right? Like there's still like a level of like gameplay to it. You know, I don't need bullet hell or, you know, platforming and stuff. But, like, there is a level of, like, you're engaged in the mystery as well, right? I think the mystery is very important to us. We like the mystery aspect of it.
Yeah, that's the biggest
Mistwood Manor was fun, but not having any characters, you know, is definitely on a lower level than Ace Attorney, right? Things like that. So there's... I want a level like Wandersong wasn't out of the park of everything like that, but it is definitely not as character driven as we would have wanted, if that makes sense.
Wandersong kind of towed the edge. I feel like it was one of those where the side characters were more interesting
100%.
than the main character.
Exactly.
But also it was a lot of platforming for Ori.
I know Dylan was kind of meh about it. I'm pretty down for the latent games, if I'm being completely honest. The little, you know, quotes that you had sent that weren't spoilers, I didn't click on any spoiler ones because I knew that there was a possibility we would play the games. Don't come at me like Mars. Ghost Trick is on the list, guys. Ghost Trick is on the list. 100%.
Ghost Trick is definitely
Ghost Trick
on the
has
list.
been on the list. It's gonna be Ace Attorney Ghost Trick. Like, there's no question. Okay, that one is happening. That one's been on the list. That one was on the list before we started playing Ace Attorney. Mars had like talked about it, and we knew it was coming out. We were sad
I
because
vaguely
it
remember
came out.
watching a Let's Play. All I remember is lamp, dog, and redhead sidekick.
Yeah,
A
Ghost
talking
Trick
lamp,
is
a talking dog,
a done
and
deal.
a redhead sidekick.
2 things that are done deals. Every
Sounds
Studio
right
Investigrave
up our
game
alley.
that they are coming out with and have come out with, those will be played. And Ghost Trick, these are locked in. Don't have a timeline, but those are locked in. Yeah. Other games, because Layton is such a long series, it would be locked in as like the next series if that's what we do. Right now, I would say it's between Layton and Nancy Drew. I feel like probably at this rate we'll end up playing both because there's not that many games, like types of games that we're looking for. But I do remember having a ton of fun with Nancy Drew as like a kid and doing like the baby version of what we do now with Nancy Drew.
Well, if
with
the
Ace
puzzles
Attorney.
are anything like the one you described to me, I think it's going to be pretty fun for
I
chat.
think it'll be hilarious. And because like I really remember, like that was a thing I did like with my friend, and I only vaguely remember a couple things about one of them, and I only maximum played 3. And one of them was by myself. Zero Escape, I know Pastry
Zero
Puff played.
Escape. Is Zero Escape isn't the same as 9 Doors, 9...
That is
Keys,
that
9
is that one.
always?
I think it is. That is that one.
I forget what the 999 stands
Yeah.
for. I just know it's 999.
That is that series, yes. It's 3 games, I think. I'm not against the idea overall. I think it's I think they said it was an escape room type thing with like the different endings, and we did do that with Elevator Hitch, and it was enjoyable. So I'm not against that idea as an option in the future as well. Definitely on the radar as a thing.
I could definitely see it happening.
But I
Ooh, it earns the M rating?
okay.
Damn.
I don't think we're necessarily against that.
I don't think so. I mean, look at what we play in Ace Attorney.
Well, and we did Elevator Hitch, which has been
That too.
which has been like restricted on the YouTube channel, which is whatever. I don't really care.
Oopsies.
If I'm being honest, I only care enough.
How did that one get restricted?
It's a lot of like blood and guts and stuff. Ace
Wow.
Attorney is not visually gory, and I think that's where they really clock it over anything else. I think that's really it.
It's just surprising.
Yeah, is what it is. Like I said, the channel is never meant to be our like main source of income. It's meant to break even. So I'm not super concerned, I guess, stressed about hitting everything being perfect and whatever, as long as it's not a strike, because that'll lose your channel eventually if you have too many years in a row. But since we
gotta
play
be
video
careful
games,
of
we're
those.
usually pretty good. Nothing has been stricken. Sometimes it's just like, you can't copyright this, or like make money off this, or like it's revenue sharing. And again, like I said, just trying to break even, so it's not really a big deal.
Zilla, I feel like if we did play
So,
Professor Layton
it
versus
would
Phoenix, right, that
be-
would be after the AA games.
It would be
But
after
I feel
the
like it
games.
would also be after at least
Layton.
one Layton game,
It would be
so
after-
we knew
It would.
how to play.
So I know that Pastry Puff specifically played Layton to play Layton versus Phoenix. And I remember Pastry Puff saying that it was specifically good because they had played both. So that would be my intention. I feel like I'd want to be equally invested in the characters and the everything in order to do it.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm gonna have to make a
Sorry, I
channel.
was having a sip of tea.
Yeah, exactly, Pastry Puff, exactly. Yeah. And so that's what I would do. If we were to play Layton, we would play Layton versus Phoenix. Yeah, like yes, without question. We're not going to play Layton versus Phoenix without playing Layton, though. I feel like that's very important to me. Like I said, I will be surprised if we end up never playing Layton. I don't think that's really a possibility. It's just kind of where we end up playing Layton. I know there's a new Layton game slotted to come out. You know, there may be new Ace Attorney games in the future with what they've been doing and sussing and, you know, whatever. So, lots of things.
Nothing's impossible. Ori, I will be right back. I gotta go grab something from my printer.
Well, enjoy your printer, Mars. I remember Pastry Puff enjoyed it, so I don't know. Did you end up playing it, Estrock? Nothing confirmed, Allie, but the way they've been going and they had that, like, survey, that's the word I want. They had that survey. They fucking re-released every single Ace Attorney game, and 2 within a year? 2, like, the second trilogy and the Investigations duology as a re-release within a year? I feel like they're doing something. like, come on, the signs, okay? And also, knock on fucking wood, I gotta say, us as a channel got into Ace Attorney at, like, the gods, like, blessed us. You know, like, literally. The fucking gamer gods, like, RNGesus was like, these are the Let's Play. You know, I'm gonna say this all high and mighty. I don't actually believe it. But it's like, these are the Let's Players. They've come. Now we can continue. Because it really felt that way. We fucking started Ace Attorney. And then immediately, same, you know, like within a year, less than a year. Very, like, that you know, we started in, like, summer of 23. Right? So then so then it was January 24, second trilogy, right? And then it was like, oh wow, this is crazy. And then I was like, oh yeah, you know what? Also, you're about to start, you know, you're playing Investigations and you want to play Prosecutor's Gambit? Well, you know what? Here's the real fucking release, guys. And it was like, whoa. Can we chill?
Like, damn.
It has been how many years since they did the, you know, this, and we're just coming out. Like, whew. Yeah, seriously, Pastry Puff. Seriously. Absolutely insane. Like, I know deep in my logical bones this is all a coincidence, but in, like, my precious little, you know, child heart, I'm like, wow, we're so special. This is crazy. And so I'm always gonna feel that way. And so what I'm saying is that I feel like that with the way this is going, I won't be surprised if we're about to, like, finish the Great Ace Attorney and they're like, new games coming out. Like, it would just be very on brand accidentally. So it would just be very funny. But I'm amazing. Not. I think they're definitely doing something in the veins because, like I said, they've done all this stuff to, like, revamp the Ace Attorney franchise. They had that video, right? They had that survey. Like, I feel like if they were just
very active.
Yeah, I feel like if they were just to, like, nah, it's all just for, like, nostalgia, you know, like, I feel like
there's no way
it wouldn't.
There's no freaking way.
Yeah. The signs are really
like it's
pointing.
Building to nothing.
Yeah.
When no, it is building to something. It's building to something. We all know.
I appreciate that, Estrock. I totally am, like, I'm happy that we grow. Like, I'm very excited and everything. I'm always shocked when we had a short recently that hit, like, 15,000, which I don't understand why. Yeah, but being honest, we have way more banger shorts than that one, but that one popped off, you know? I don't know what it is.
Here's what I've learned about being online. You don't decide the bangers.
Oh, I know.
The audience decides the bangers.
I know. But, you know, so we like, bumped up a fair amount in the past couple days. Like, we were, like, at 123 like just a week ago, and now we're at, like, I say 123. We were at 1,230, and now today we hit 1,250. That was pretty fast. That was like over 20 subs, like right quick. So that was pretty quick. That was pretty cool. So, you know, I'm happy with the steady growth that we have. If I'm being honest, I don't want to get mega big. I want to get, okay, this is the secret, guys. I want stream to stay kind of small because I want to be able to talk to you guys like we're talking now. And when you get at the point, it's like there's too many people. You can't do this. And it's like, I want the stream, but the channel, the videos should get big.
That's what we want. That's the goal.
Yeah, I want another trilogy, Estruck. I agree. Welcome back, Mason. How was your shower? Hope it was nice.
Another trilogy would be amazing. Yes, hope you enjoyed your shower. Sometimes it's just so nice at the end of a day.
I'd definitely. I think that the thing would be a new trilogy or another like spin-off duology. I'd be happy with another spin-off duology. I don't know who it would be.
So, okay, I don't know spoilers. This is just from seeing the community. But I do know that at one point Apollo and Phoenix like kind of conclude their arc.
Yeah.
So I think it would have to be someone other than Apollo.
No, Apollo had his trilogy. Phoenix, you know, like has his trilogy, right? Edgeworth has his duology, right? Then you have the flashback ones to the past.
From there,
I don't know anything about Athena really. I just know of her. But she could be an interesting contender. I don't actually know. I don't know what the Edgeworth equivalent of Apollo is.
If we had a female lead.
Could there be a that investigations? You know, the prosecutor? I guess it would be Gavin. I refuse to say his name. I guess it would be Gavin.
You're in trouble if it is Gavin, because then you literally could not say the protagonist's name throughout the entire game. Or you'd be going, ugh, every time one of the side characters says his name.
An Athena-centric thing could be interesting. I would see, in my mind, I see that, like, if they were to do a trilogy, it would be a new character, right? Because, like, again, I don't know anything besides, like, some character names and visuals from Apollo Justice Trilogy and, The Great Ace Attorney, but... Like Apollo's new, likely. Right? Apollo's a new character, right? So we have the Phoenix Wright trilogy, and then we get a new attorney that he's related in the Phoenix story, right? Because like I know Phoenix shows up and he's in it and whatever, right? But he's a new character. So I feel like if they were to do a trilogy, they would get a new main that is somehow related to the world, right? That's somehow interconnected. But if they did a duology, it would be like Edgeworth, where it's like a character we know's side game. His name is Piano.
Yeah.
Yes. I hate his name. I hate how it sounds in my mouth. I hate how it sounds in my throat. I hate that there were so many better options, and I absolutely am so upset that his Japanese name is so good.
This will be Ori's Hill.
This is my pants.
This will be Ori's Hill. These are her pants.
This is my pants.
These are Ori's pants.
His name, Pastry Puff told me, his Japanese name is Kyoya. It's so good. I'm upset.
She was robbed,
okay,
you guys.
Zilla. Posit this. Cadence. He doesn't even fucking play piano, okay? The man doesn't play piano. The man plays fucking guitar. He should be named Cadence. It's a guitar brand, okay? Cadence, like the music shit. And it's a regular dude name. Clavier is just like, I didn't want to be Javier, so I'm Clavier. Cadence would have been so good. So upset.
Ori's choking on that one.
Yeah!
Cadence would have been pretty good.
Guys, if you don't... No, it's not a struck. Just like Tracy's not a girl's name, and Terry's not a girl's name, and Leslie's not a girl's name.
Not a girl's name.
what's
There's
the other
so
one?
many.
Dana's not a girl's name. There's another one.
Oh, yep, that's another.
There's another one. I'm absolutely blanking.
Ashley, I know Ashley isn't a girl's name.
Yeah, Ashley's not a girl's name. Sasha's not a girl's name. No. Fuck. Gender names are stupid and non-existent.
Arbitrary.
Yeah, arbitrary. Yeah. What's so funny to me, it's more just like, who cares at that point? But historically, like, a lot of what we now consider like women's names were very no. I'm not annoyed at you, Esther. I'm annoyed at the world. I'm annoyed at the world. No, I
again, these are
as a
Ori's
human
pants.
As a human, I have a classically mainly boy's name, but technically gender neutral. And Dylan is also a gender neutral name, as I've known roughly the same amount of girl Dylans as guy Dylans. And so what I think is hilarious is that when we're married and we have the same last name, it's like, who's gonna be who? You know, like, who are they gonna think is who? Because it's just very funny to me. Ooh,
I am very curious at that, honestly.
Yeah, I've already been multiple times. I'm personally in a very male-dominated field, so I multiple times have been, like, referred to as Mr. Ori without them, like, seeing me or, you know, like, talking with me. And so it's, like email stuff, and I'm like, oh, thank you, Mr. Ori. And it's like, you're welcome, and I don't really care. And then I show up, and they're like, I thought you were a man. And it's like, nope.
Nope. Wrong.
He's flexing his bilingual abilities. Ah, fuck it. Fuck that. No. I don't know how that's a pun, Mason Tree Witch. Tiffany. Tiffany! Alright. What was I gonna say? Okay, what would our pun names be? I mean, easy one is origami, but I think what would be funny would be Kiragami, because Kira is much more of like a name than Ori is, I would say, and Kiragami is the art
you
of...
said Kira, and I immediately thought of Death Note.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I'm a tree witch? I see.
Well, a little bit of a caveat there.
But Kiragami is the art of cutting and folding paper. But at least it sounds more like a name than I think Ori does. So I feel like that's... And Gami would be a fun thing.
Well, I mean, that's
I'm not Kira.
It's actually a name, but...
Oh, interesting, Estrak.
Ooh.
Both are very funny in a stupid way. Yeah.
I have no idea what mine would be. I have not put any thought into it. I am not ready for this on the spot answer that is required.
Honestly, you could also just be very easy and go the route of like Quercus alba, right? You know, he's literally just white oak, the tree, the scientific name. I love scientific trees names as like binomial names as character names. I'm sorry, Mason. It's just not working on him for some reason. I don't know why. My brain has stopped.
Oh no.
One of the really good tree names I like is Acer campestre. That's the field maple. It's just a good... Yeah, I did do a character.
Named your character Acer that one time.
Yeah, he was Acer campestre specifically. That just like, I feel is like campestre feels like a last name and Acer feels like a first name. Like there's no editing involved. That is like just like Quercus alba.
That was a baller name. That was
that
so
is
good.
Just a good dual, you know, like meshing is really good. Lore of Marsh. Swampy Mars. All right, let's see. Like,
of Mars.
Author.
Lion.
We got like author Mars speaking, you know, like, you know, speech language pathology Mars. What do we do?
Yeah, have fun with this one. I have so many evaluations to give tomorrow, you guys. I'm dying.
This is a tough one. Because we could also do the planet Mars. But that's a little tough as well. Because Deimos and Phobos, those aren't really good names either. Right?
Well, Mars was the Roman god. Who was the Greek god?
Ares. You're Ares.
Ares. Fucking based. Let's
so
go.
That could be a cool last name. That could be a cool last name. Especially with like Athena Sykes, right? Like that could be Ares. Yeah.
Ares. Ares.
What would be the other one? My brain keeps coming to like Libra, right? It's also star related. It sounds kind of like a first name, and it also sounds like related to library and book and everything.
I am a Scorpio.
I think I'm leaning towards Libra because of like the book aspect, right? You'd be literally Lore of Mars, book, Mars, right? Libra Aries. Yeah.
Oh, that's got a nice ring to
that
it. Can
not
I steal
bad.
it for a future Pathfinder
You
character?
certainly can.
Libra Aries. Damn
there
it, that should have been the name of my last character. Because she was all book smart and librarian.
Rickeridi's too good though for Rickeridi.
I am so fucking proud of the name Ricoridi.
I told you that
at
Dylan
first I was just gonna be
right?
like, I don't know what I had at first as a placeholder name, but then I started like futzing around with the names on like a name generator. I'm like, what if I combine
it does,
these two?
Pastry Puff,
yes,
doesn't it?
That's the vibe.
Especially after Athena Sykes and Apollo, just like so many Greek god-related names. So Libra Aries really works out well. Oh my god. Fuck! I'm so upset that this is making such a good idea for a fucking Ace Attorney inspired game.
Uh-oh.
Don't think about it though, Mars. We got cause in like in the second trilogy you have Apollo, right? And then you have Athena, right? So it's like, oh, we got like a Greek god thing going on, right? Okay, we do yours, but it's all like star sign shit. And that's like the theme.
Ooh.
And it would be so good. And the designs could be on point as
were
fuck.
asked to do an abridged version.
Write that down. Yeah, really, Jesus Christ.
Seriously. Oh man,
the designs would be great. The mysteries could be so like playing into the lore shit. God and me.
That would be really good, honestly.
Who can make a game? No, don't actually tell me.
No, please, Ori and I have enough projects.
This is what I'm talking about. Why there's too much fucking time. There's not enough time in the world. There's too much to do.
I need to be immortal.
I need to be immortal. There is literally no downside that could outweigh this benefit. I'm sorry. I will watch everyone
die. I need to be
die.
fucking immortal.
It's
okay.
That's all I need. You will learn coding. This is a really good idea. Eventually.
Ooh, Ori's struggling, you guys. She's really considering it. I've heard that noise before.
It hurts so much.
It's the noise I hear every Wednesday at business meeting.
I have no idea what Renti is.
I usually make those noises too.
The only ones I know about are
Renti.
I've heard about RPG Maker and Godot. To my understanding, both of those are a little more code. RPG Maker is not very code heavy, but very limiting.
It's impressive what you could do
we
with it.
We could
though.
make
like,
concept art for fun.
I think not Mirai Nikki. What the hell am I thinking of? There is a horror game on there. Something Nikki.
I have no idea.
Yume Nikki. That was it. Yume Nikki.
What could be the worst part about being an artist? For like a much more philosophical era, literally just not having enough time. There's so many ideas. There's so many ideas I want to do, And there's just will never be enough time. Never ever. There will never be enough time.
There never is.
I think a slightly different scale of the worst part in like a more practical sense would be that it's like hard to like find the like-minded people. I'm so happy that we have found all of you lovely chatters because you guys are such bros, man. We like the same shit. It's great. Okay. I love seeing your guys' art and theories and shit. I love being able to like supply art and theories and shit. It's good shit. Yeah, no, that's true. That's what I was thinking about Infinity Nikki.
Artists and writers have to defend against their own chat, and we are so glad we don't have to do that.
You're so great. You're so top tier.
Very grateful.
Lovely chat.
You're amazing.
Fantastic. And it's the fact that it's just hard to reach more people like you, you know? I'm very happy to have found that you guys. But I wish I didn't have to fucking be my own social media manager. But I think, if I'm being honest, that's the least of my worries. The real worst thing is specifically, there's just not enough time. There's so many comics I would want to do. I want to make this game now. I really do. It's such a good idea. You know, like, come on, Jesus. It'd be so epic.
And how dare of you for thinking it up?
I'm sorry. Like, Mars and I have been tossing around ideas for our next comic, which will happen, but I know it's gonna be fucking 10 years down the line.
But
and it's just like
10 years later.
I love Outcast, you know, I want to do it for 10 years, but there's also like, if I had infinite time, I could be fucking doing the other shit now, because I could finish, you know, we could finish it.
That is the
so
thing.
yeah, there is literally not an immortality downside that you could posit to me that would not make it worth it. Yes, and that means vampirism is on the table.
Mm-hmm.
I'd do it.
Or he's like, sign me the hell up. There's a Yume Nikki sequel. I have not played it.
Yes, such a vibe, Mason. Oh, we were also talking about magic in our next comic. Basically, the next comic started, I don't even know. Oh, it started because Mars said she wanted mechs, and I said I can't do full mechs. That's too much. And then Pinterest was like, you like these things, right? You like these colors? And it was like, fuck, I do like those colors.
Or he did like those
colors. Work really well with like the leg mechs that Mars and I were talking about. And then it just sort of spiraled into, all right, what are all the other shit that we like that we didn't put it out yet?
Turns out there was a lot of shit.
You have to convert other artists. Yeah.
Now we got couriers, we got mail systems, we got uniting the globe. I noticed that Ori and I are focusing on a lot of community-based projects in that, like, it focuses on like creating community.
Yeah.
Favorite colors? Like in general, I really like purple.
Pink. Pink is my favorite
and green.
color.
Those are my go-to.
Pink and then
purple and
technically standalone as like a standalone thing, pink and then yellow. As like a combo, pink and green all the way.
Pink and green is really aesthetically pleasing.
I mean, can you tell?
All right, can you
like
tell
a lilac mason?
Ooh, that's a nice one. Yeah, I find the dark purples are a little like too much, but the light purples are very pleasing to stack, like lavenders.
I will say, talk about future projects is definitely like, I'm glad that I am a person who is still pretty young, you know? Like, I know how old my parents are, and there's a lot of life in between, and we started now. So there's many more comics we can make before the end, you know? There's a lot of life ahead.
It's a good thing we had this brain blast when we were young.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a word thing, Estruck. Yeah, chartreuse is green. I'm pretty sure it's literally just in language, we associate certain colors with certain vibes. And this sounded like red. You know what I'm saying?
chartreuse sound like red?
Yes, Zilla. Thank you. The slightly more like sad part that I think about though, with the like, oh yeah, you'd watch all your loved ones die, and it's like, I'm unfortunately gonna watch a lot of my loved ones die, just like being a person, not being immortal.
Oh, yeah.
So it's like,
so like,
it's gonna suck
might as
either
well
way.
get something good
So
out of it.
you know, don't. It's not really a downside at this point.
Close, Mason. That's a charcuterie board.
Oh, ooh, I
And now I'm
like that
craving
pastry
cheese. How
puff.
dare.
I like that a lot. That's fun layers.
Ooh.
Ooh,
Well, you put a lot of thought
yeah,
into
I
that.
can
I feel like
see
you've
what
thought
you're
about
saying.
this before a pastry puff.
No, Mason, not chartreuse. I can see what you're saying about vermilion and chartreuse being like, vermilion feels more like a green. I can see that. Vermilion is actually one of the first reds because it means worm red. Because it's made from worms. I think I'd literally talk about that in an Ace Attorney video.
I don't remember that.
I do, actually. It's when Angel's star is on the stand.
How did that come up?
It comes up because she, like, calls prosecutors worms or something, and then I say this fact because Edgeworth's suit is red.
Okay. Okay, that makes sense.
I think, like, Cipher is a good thing you could go with. There's another type of logic puzzle that I really liked before. But there's another... There's a bunch of...
Okay. I'm gonna laminate all of this after stream.
Codex. All these sort of things. Yeah, I mean, you put a lot of thought into it, Pastry Puff, so I could see.
Oh no, the effort definitely.
Oh, you're saying that you want to weigh out? I feel like, I guess in the classic terms of immortal, I find that it's like immortal means you won't die of old age, but you can be killed. Right? Like, you're not invulnerable. Like, I feel like if the earth got engulfed by the sun, I would die. You know, like, I'm not gonna be floating through space. But if I'm being completely honest, I'd still take the deal. Because mathematically, there are aliens out there. So I'd hit something eventually. And at that point, time would be already meaningless to me in like an elf way, right? So would I really know I'm floating for that amount of time?
Probably not.
I feel like it really depends on the immortality vibes, though. But yeah, exactly, Zilla. Like, I feel like, you know, there's a level of like... like, I feel like just saying immortality, like, vampires are immortal, but can be killed, right? You know what I'm saying? So it's like, that's like my brain's main definition of immortality is definitely the fact that, like, my brain has literally shut off. The fact that, like,
oh no.
Like, yeah, like, you could be killed. Maybe it's a special way, like vampires, right? Like, where vampires are like, you could only kill them in certain ways. But in my opinion, that's still, like, if you wanted to click the cancel button, like, you could. You know, and I guess that's just my general idea of immortality.
Like, if you suddenly decide there's still a way out.
I will totally take the kind of vampire, you know, immortality and that sort of thing, 100%. But I'll also take the immortality of, like, I'm not invulnerable. Like, I could still die in a car accident or something, you know? Would I be more cautious in general? Yeah, probably. But, like, I wouldn't need to worry about, you know, wasting time anymore, right? Does that make sense? Because now it's like, oh,
it's a decent balance.
It would be more worthwhile to walk to places because it's not a time sink, right? Taking the public transport,
that would be an the what am I thinking of? The immortal character.
Yeah.
Like how to do an
I
immortal
certainly
character. Have we
have
done that one
I
before?
don't know. I certainly have a soft spot for the immortal and the time traveler.
Oh, that's a good one.
That's a good one. There's a soft spot for those ideas.
Either the immortal or the long living character.
Yeah. See, and I wouldn't say you're a god, Federico. I'm like in my brain when I'm like, I would be immortal, I'm thinking like flat, easiest like vampire level, where maybe you're a little stronger, a little more durable, but you'll never age, you'll live forever as long as you're not killed by the specific examples. I have not struck. Yes, right, Page
People
Pop,
die
so
when
good.
they are killed.
It's so good. Yes, Mason, exactly. Like, to me, the immortal thing is just, like, not aging is the biggest thing. Where, like, I have as much time as is given to me, you know, as possible.
We want the passage of time to be meaningless.
Yeah. You know? Even being, like, elf level old would still be pretty great. You know? If I could free run it up in here...
I just want enough time to work on all my shit. That's all I want in life. I want time to do my hobbies.
But there's also
and do
like
my things.
someone once said that a downside to being immortal is you would get bored. No, you wouldn't. I'm sorry that your mind is so small that you would get bored. But like, one, let's say that society doesn't last forever, but it lasts a long time. Okay,
you could
well, hold
do
on.
whatever you wanted to do. You could learn any skill you wanted to learn.
You could learn any skill. You could do anything. There's so much media, both hard and digital media right now, that you would never, ever run out. Like, Jesus Christ. That's so much. And then, Will Ferrell's outfit, yeah, no, free run, yeah, or Lord of the Rings, etc. Technically,
that's definitely
Zilla.
one too.
Dylan has, Mars and I have not. We only played the game when it was on stream, so we have not played anything since stream.
Nope. I wonder if we'll return to that one day.
It would only be worth it, Federico, if you remembered, and then still, being a baby would still suck. Being like, I don't know if being a kid would suck, but being a child, like an infant would suck until you had like some level of autonomy, and then you wouldn't have a lot of autonomy later, and then like, God forbid, you're reincarnated, do a bad thing, At least if you're like an adult forever, at least you have like more agency, I guess.
You have more independence, you have more control over your life. That's always a plus.
Has there been an immortal character who is artistically inclined and excited by what they can create?
I want to say yes. I haven't watched it, but that sounds like something that's definitely been done before.
I'd be surprised if there wasn't. I find that so much, and this is such a big like thing. I find so much of immortality is painted in a negative light specifically. Because the point of it is, because the narrative, quote unquote, intrigue.
Well, the point of it is always to teach the moral: be satisfied with what you have and live every moment like it's your last.
And I feel like that's
because as humans, we're not going to get immortality. So the moral of the story is basically, hey, appreciate what you have. You're never gonna get this.
I don't know where this came from.
Why can't we have an immortal story that's
sure.
like, here's the perks?
Not even just here's the perks, like here is it existing, and I feel like you only find that in vampire like related fan fiction, if I'm being honest, not like a lot of like, classic content, vampire related.
I feel like that's because, especially with the modern vampire, they've been glorified.
Well, they're either monsters and evil, or they're like glorified, or they're also dissatisfied with being a vampire because they didn't want to be. I feel like so much of immortal stuff is being like, oh, this is why you wouldn't want to be immortal, because you can't, so don't want it. And it's like,
yeah. It's like, we must beat that out of you, human.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
But that's lame. You know what? I feel like Freerin had a pretty positive take on
I think
immortality.
overall it has the best one. Yes. Obviously there's still
Frieren had
the
a very positive
sadness
take.
about
There's
it, but
plenty
that's
of other
more
examples
her fault
out there.
than necessarily
That's more
the
a
consequence
result
of being
of
immortal.
how
Well,
she
not immortal,
perceived
but
her own
long-lived.
immortality.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's her. The negatives for her are more of a personal failing than necessarily a consequence specifically of her being long-lived. You know.
Mm.
And that is a
Huge
difference. That is a major difference. I like the reason I like the time traveler, immortal thing, you know, dynamic, is because that also paints it not necessarily as a bad thing of being immortal, and you have a friend that quote unquote won't, you know, age out and die like everybody else, you know, sort of thing, right? So it's very interesting concept to play around there because you can have so many other, like, what's the word, challenges, you know, in that story than the price of being immortal, right?
Oh yeah.
And then the other thing, no, there are a lot of characters that are mortal, but you don't really see their immortality, and that's in the case of gods. You don't talk about it.
Well, because the gods
much.
are never worried about like
dying,
but the whole point is that
they don't make it like a thing, if that makes sense, right? The immortal, like, we don't care mortal affairs is more of like a superiority complex than a fact of them being immortal, right? Like if people had the big powers and weren't immortal, I feel like you could still easily have this superiority complex that it'd be painted the same. But like when you talk about the gods, you don't really push the fact of it being like this is a drain on them, and you don't really talk about it very much. Like it, so, you know, for very, you know, quick reference of pop culture related things now, in Epic the musical, it comes up twice, briefly, once as a plot point and once as like a inspiring, maybe the future can be better sort of thing, and you'll get to see it, you know, but also a little sad because I won't get to see it sort of thing, right? That's not where I live. But
God,
so
that
it's
line
like,
made me cry.
Oof, but you know, it's not really talked about as much, if that makes sense.
No, 100%.
Yes. Oh, brain fucking blast. Dreamwalkers has a whole group of people who are called the Immortals, and they are immortal. They've specifically made a deal with Life, the goddess of life. She is life.
It's a good story.
Life.
Go
it's
read
very
it.
good. I'm not going to spoil it, but it's very, very, very good.
Epic.
It's a webtoon. It's called Dreamwalkers. It's really, really good.
The art is gorgeous.
Highly recommend. I'm actually like in the artist Discord server. Like, I really like them a lot. I was there before it was an original. Oh, and we're finally past Canvas stuff, so that's really cool. But what I'm saying is that is not treated as that's more treated as like a thing. It's not treated as like a detriment or a problem. You know, which is very cool. Yeah, exactly, Estrock, exactly. And like you being of this age, there are people in your life who will be older than you and pass away, unfortunately. There are people in your life who are your age and younger than you that can, unfortunately, have, you know, things and pass away. You're not avoiding death by not being immortal. And I guess just the sheer quote-unquote number would be mathematically more, but it would be over a long period of time. You know, you wouldn't like hit a point where suddenly like everyone is gone if you like keep going out and like, you know, interacting with people, you know? And if like
there's always gonna be people.
Pastry Puff said, living with generations of a family, right? Like, so I have cousins, and I could be, you know, close with them, and then close with their children, and, you know, and whatever, and like...
I cannot believe I forgot this piece of media. You can either, it has two names. You could either call it To Your Eternity, that's the anime name, or the manga name is To You the Immortal One. And that is a really good one. I feel like it looks at both aspects of like the hardship of being immortal, but also the joys of being immortal. Because you follow the main character Fuji as he goes through
Yeah,
many,
I
many
agree,
lives throughout
Estrock.
many, many years. He loses friends along the way, sometimes in very traumatic ways, but then he also connects with people later down the line, and like half the time they're descendants of people, and he finds out, oh, what happened to like this person I left behind, and then he finds comfort in like the new people he meets, and it's very interesting. It's kind of like Freerin in that way, that looks at both the good and the bad. It doesn't have a black and white outlook. It has a very gray outlook.
I will say though, Estrock, well, obviously that would be a concern. I feel like if we're being completely honest, if you're like just a decent human and you do like your taxes and like, you know, you don't defraud people and things, they probably wouldn't notice. I'm like not gonna lie. My father was on the jury for like a crime of
If
fraud.
I'm immortal, I'm not doing taxes. I'm not doing taxes if I'm immortal. I'm going to live out in a cabin in the woods off the grid.
Off the grid, you still need to pay taxes, Mars! Off the grid does not remove your taxes.
What if I go to a very remote woods?
You'd have to, again, if I'm being honest, it's more worth it to just pay the taxes at that point. But, so it was this fraud case where this woman was getting like, I don't know what it was, but like some sort of payout of money, you know, every year or something. And all she had to do was certify, you know, that she was alive every year or something. For like upwards of 20 years or something, she had been dead. And someone was signing fraudulently for her with a notary who was being fraudulent, saying that it was indeed her, and they got the money. And like the only reason they found out was for like some stupid reason. Like the only reason they like found out was for some really stupid reason, and I can't even remember what it was.
Oh wow.
But what I'm trying to tell you is the fact that like they're really not like this is not like a do crime thing. This is a specifically like if you don't do crime and you're like a chill person, like a law-abiding citizens, quote unquote, right? Like I don't think it would be that hard. Like if you're immortal and you're like going to all like rallies and like try to do stuff, like you're gonna be noticed. Like I totally get, but like you know what it's like, the Avril Lavigne is like a mortal thing, right? Or Keanu Reeves is immortal. Like we're seeing people throughout history who look like them. Like that could just be you. Nobody would believe it. You know what I'm saying? Just move around.
Ori, I feel like how much we're talking about immortals, we're probably gonna have to work at least one immortal into our new comic.
Oh yeah? Okay. Bless you. Be gay, don't pay taxes.
Thank you.
Oh,
I am
we're
sitting
reading
on a
lot
very
of...
cold floor right now.
Why?
Because I have to laminate shit for tomorrow.
This is a liar. So, how to fake new identities. Yeah. I'm saying if you move around and you like just like move like countries or even just cities, the paper trail is not that good, guys. Like I really gotta tell you, like it's not that good. Like it's decent, but like government stuff is like not that good. This is not a do crime thing. This is just like I'm saying, like they don't care about you as much as you think. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like a lot of people get paranoid or like think that it's like, can they? Yeah, but like don't do things that make them want to look at you, right? The only people that get looked at are the people that do shit that make them worth looking at. You know,
if they're being sussy-wussy, then
if they do crime, they're gonna get you. Okay, like don't do crime. It's not that difficult.
Here's immortal lesson number 1. Don't be sussy-wussy.
I'm gonna tell you, not that difficult. You live as a normal person. Like, I'm not joking. I literally want to do, like, what I'm doing now just forever would be pretty chill. You know, like, then I could watch all the shows.
Awesome.
And then I could write all the, draw all the shit and play all the games. It'd be fucking great. I don't think the government would ever fucking know. I'm just saying.
Your definition of immortal, Do I need to sleep and eat still?
In my brain, yes. Because
Okay.
vampires do. Because like I feel like you like the biggest thing is like you would need money, you know? But I feel like at that point you could get the money enough in the stock market to have that like, you know, income, because you do that for so long, right? You will save up eventually to hit that point, and then you're set. Very easy. I'm trying to read Pastry Post comments. That character hates
Or
it.
he's figured out how to rig the system.
About it. Yeah, there's a level of money that you have in the stock market that gets like enough increase every month that you can withdraw without actually losing any money. So you have like there is a point where on average it quote unquote is an unlimited money loop, and that's how rich people work. It's very terrible. Stock market is money magic, literally. That's not a joke.
Yeah, it is crazy.
Ah, yeah, it depends on kind of person. I feel it's very true, Pastry Puff. That's very true. My father has retired in the past year. I think he will be a year. It's only been about 6 months. He just retired. I think that math checks out. It's been about 6 months. He had a colleague that he was working with that is like, oh, hey, you know, Ori's dad, Dory, you know, I can't, you're retiring, man. What are you gonna do? And my dad's, you know, immediate response is, I own a house, you know, because haha, there's always shit to do to upkeep your own house. But the guy is like, I don't know what I would do if I didn't work. And it's just like baffling to me.
See,
Baffling
it's
to me
funny.
that there's
That's my dad's
nothing in your
perspective.
life that you want to do
He does not want to
besides
retire.
work. There's no books you want to read. There's no movies you want. Like, I understand being an artist is not for everybody. Being a creative is not an everybody thing, right? I totally get that. But there is so much media in existence. There are so many foods to eat, like places to go eat at, just like in a general vicinity. It would take me decades to eat at every place in like the general 20-mile radius of my current location, right? It took me over 25 years living where Mars, you know, where my childhood home, to get bored of the stuff near there, and I could just drive 20 more minutes and get more shit, you know? Like, it's not, I don't understand.
That really puts things into perspective.
I don't understand. Comic Corner Immortals, yeah, it will be a thing. Yeah, don't be sus.
It,
What
it
is
has to
sus?
be.
Don't be a sussy
We're
podcast.
talking about it so much.
I'm so behind on chat. I've been ranting.
I gotta be honest, I have not been looking. I've been down on the floor.
They'll keep it forever if you rant about your feelings. Ooh, go read us, Struck. Not now. Later.
You busy.
Story about a mortal criminal, that would be a lot more on the run sort of things, you know? But honestly, they would probably hit statute of See, that could be an interesting story, Federico, on a mortal criminal, because if they did just one big crime, they would, and it's not murder, it can't be murder, because murder doesn't have a time limit, a statute of limitations, but other crimes like robbery do. You could literally rob a bank, and if you were managing to be an immortal for long enough to outrun the cops for long enough, you would eventually be expunged of that crime. So that could be an interesting, like, I just got it, like, it's years, like, you know, like, but it's like a blink for them, right? So it's worth it. And then they keep doing it for the thrill, but they keep getting away with it. Like, that could be an interesting thing. Yeah, like an urban legend. Oh, yeah. After the apocalypse, fighter, your cult. Yeah, you know, there's a lot of stuff. So many structure sports. Oh, no. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Struck. You could spend everywhere. You could spend the entire life eating at different places in just the city alone. And then you also have everywhere else. like I feel like you've gotta like something other than work. Like, I feel so bad. I feel so bad. You know, because there's a difference. There's a difference between I never had time but I wanted to, right? Like, I totally get, you know, like, there's not enough time. That's the whole point we're talking about this, right? And I totally get that. But you're going to retire. You're going to retire comfortably with a pension. Money is not a concern now, okay? I understand travel, like full-on travel is not for everybody. It is for my parents, but it's not for everybody. You know, I totally get that. There has to fucking be something. Like, you cannot tell me that the sole thing you like in this world is working a fucking desk job. You know what I'm saying? Like,
there's no way.
There is so much niche shit out there. There's gotta be something else. And you know what? It's okay if you don't know, but you need to know that it's there, and you gotta fucking find it. You know, like, come on. Come on.
Let this be your inspirational message for the day night.
It could be literally anything. Not illegal. Don't do illegal. But, you know, like, come on.
Yeah, don't do illegal. This is not permission to do illegal. Don't take it that way.
There was still time to work. I've lost my own thread.
There was time now. There was nothing but time.
I ranted a lot on this one. I need more water.
You really did. I think you ranted more about that one than I did about twins.
Yeah, definitely. You wouldn't do it illegal, yeah.
This is why I love Comic Corner. At any given time, it could go to
That's
any
well at both of our streams. Oh no, no, Allie, no! It's not a binding thing.
Oh no!
Yeah, guys, there's so much like stuff that Mars and I are like, oh, we just didn't put this in Outcast, so it goes in the next one.
Yep. But I gotta say,
time is all the time. It's
kind of fitting together and making sense.
Oh yeah, I like the Twilight Zone.
I'm impressed with us.
I mean, some are a little much for. I watched it much younger, but some were a little. Whew, but my father would always watch it, so that was fun to watch.
I still love the Twilight Zone. My family and I watch that every New Year's Eve. That's like our countdown to New Year's thing. We've been doing that since I was little.
Any episodes or any specific episodes?
Oh, Sci-Fi usually has like a marathon that goes from middle of the day to midnight. So we binge that. The one episode we would always skip though is Talking Tina. I cannot do dolls. I cannot do creepy dolls. No. That is where I draw a line. It is funny though, because it's one of those things where I wonder, should I have watched Twilight Zone from such a young age? Because I remember there were 2 episodes that freaked me the hell out as a kid.
Guys, I'm sorry. Tangled Tower.
I love the pouty face on Grimoire.
Good art. Oh my lord. Look at their little map sprites. I can't. Look at it. Oh my lord. Such a little guy. Oh, the map sprites were a highlight in Tangled Tower.
They were so good.
Oh
honestly,
my god.
If they added that to Ace Attorney, and made them chess pieces.
Ooh.
Please.
I need the but I need the Tangled Tower map system in Ace Attorney, and I need the Ace Attorney evidence system in Tangled Tower. Those are the things that I need.
Yeah.
Good night, Mason.
Honestly, there's lots that each series can learn from each other. Good night, Mason.
But see, that's partly why it's also ooh, game would be cool, because we could do the best of both worlds.
Exactly.
But like I said, there's never
you get
a time.
Story and you get art and you get gameplay.
There's never a time where I think that I could learn code to do that. I would have to make someone else learn the code. I don't think there's a world.
There is a world where I help you code, but that's not a world I know. What? Oh, man. Crazy,
Too
crazy.
good.
So good.
I can't believe it's still not 11 yet. It felt like I ranted forever. I'm not complaining. I'm just
still
surprised.
Not 11 yet.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, it is still not 11.
Volunteers tribute. Oh no. Oh well.
Tribute
okay.
For what?
For the coding.
Oh, okay.
If I'm being honest, I like. Okay, let me back up. I like the internet learning space because in a lot of cases you get to see people make it, and I find that very helpful for my own brain to like be able to watch. Like I like speed paints. I was always okay. Let me back up. I was always sad about
speed
paints.
Way back up here.
I was always sad about speed paints because they didn't usually. I will find usually speed paints don't start with the sketch. A lot,
No,
at least when speed paints were
did.
very big originally, when they first started being big, they never included the sketch. And for a long time I was like, why don't they include the sketch? Like, I want to see the sketch part of the process as well. Like, I want to see how another artist sketches and see what I can learn from that, right? Like, I don't need you to say words or talk about it. I think that the act of sketching, thank you, Federico. We actually have sung together before, a long time ago, but we did.
That was an incredibly long time ago.
Yeah.
What's the song? We did On My Own from
yes.
Les Mis.
Yes. Oh God, what was I saying? I got lost.
You were Odysseus is trying to finish a coding project.
Oh my God.
The Odyssey was just a video game, you guys.
It's been 20 years. Oh God.
12 long years.
But so, like, I wish that there was more, like, and that's partly why I want to show, like, myself making this rigging this VTuber, which, guys, that starts this week, 2 days from now.
Yes,
I start rigging my VTuber.
Thursday.
Ah!
Holy crap, it's here.
That's crazy. But it's like getting to see other people's processes, right? And I think that can be very helpful. Are there coding videos like that? I feel like to a certain extent that might, like, I want to watch somebody use like RPG Maker or something. You know what I'm saying? Because it's kind of this like amorphous, like I want to see somebody do it. You know, I want to see somebody be like, and this is how I made this happen. That would be
it's like
interesting.
One of those things where there's so many tools to play around with, you kind of don't know where to start. Like Ori, I'm very glad I had you to explain Clip Studio Paint to me, because if I didn't, I wouldn't know where the fuck to start with any of these buttons. I mean, Ori handed me Clip Studio Paint after very graciously paying for it for a birthday present. Thank you very much.
I needed her to work.
Then she gave me lines from the Hudson and Milano Halloween
yes.
promo image. And she said, why don't you experiment around with it, see what you could do, get a feel for the pad. So I did that. And I had no idea what the hell I was doing, you guys. It was rough. It was bad. It looked horrible. And I was like, oh God, how are we going to fine tune this into something I can actually do? To a point where I am contributing and being productive. And then lo and behold, Ori showed me the way, and now I can color the flaps, no problem. But I gotta say, it did not start that way. And I don't know how much, because there are some things out there where you can bumble around and eventually figure it out, right? Like, it's almost like letting you loose on a playground, and it's like, okay, like, experiment to see what works, see what it does. And usually that's the type of person I am. Like, I'm very much I want to get my hands on this thing and see how to play around with it. Like, that's usually how I learn best. But for something like this, I was like, this is too overwhelming. I don't know where to begin. I'm very lost. SOS, please, someone help
I
me.
can show you the world. All the Clip Studio Paint. Tools and features, why they're great. Yes, now Mars is coloring a whole new world.
A whole new world.
What was I gonna say? I find that
a new fantastic
overall
panel view.
nice. The only reason that I managed to take the leap from the art program I was using, Medibang Paint, to Clip Studio was because I ended up taking a comic making course, a webcomic making course, and the artist was like, yep, I'm gonna use Clip Studio Paint for this, and but you don't have to, you know, you probably have the stuff in your program or whatever. And I just, you know, I was like, I've thought about this program before, you know, I want to try it. Now's the time. And I tried it, and I did it with the course, which was nice because, you know, it had that sort of jumping off point. And I was like, woo! Yeah, we don't fuck with Adobe. Never fucked with Adobe since, like, 2012.
Subscription based, and it, like, sucked really bad.
For Christmas, I think in 2012, my whole thing is I wanted...
What?
Yeah, it's all been bad. It's all been a lot of shit.
Oh god, I've really been behind the news.
But I like all I wanted was Adobe Photoshop for Christmas. So for Christmas, my parents got me Adobe Photoshop again, like 2012, when you still got the physical box that contained the disc that you shove in the computer.
Wow. Guys, if
I
that
feel
doesn't
old
age
saying
me and
that
Ori,
shit.
I don't know what does.
But so I got to open the Photoshop box under the Christmas tree.
God, that's so satisfying, though.
Yeah, oh yeah. I mean, there's a
You
reason
don't
I still get like
with digital download.
yeah, there's a reason I still do like Switch games and stuff as I'm getting the physical thing, man. If I can,
yeah.
hell yeah. Yeah, we all hate Adobe. Based people hate Adobe.
Yes.
Yeah, also fucking everything you make in Adobe is like owned by Adobe, and like they upload it to their fucking AI shit.
Where
Yeah,
it's not yours.
Yeah.
Ew.
Yeah, anything made on their like things is like not really yours, or like they also have rights to it. It's terrible. It's bad. We hate.
Awful.
Just a minute.
Do not stand. Do not stand. Never stand. Yuck.
Okay, wait. I have to remember. Odysseus has to cut a function from the project he really likes because it keeps breaking the system. Oh, okay. Oh no, we're moving too fast. Survive. The group accidentally downloads a virus. Oh no. My goodbye. It keeps calling Athena for help for stupid things, so she stops responding. At like, he's specifically calling her at like 2 a.m. or some shit though too.
Oh yeah.
Keep your friends close. Tries to follow detailed plan instruction, but the group doesn't trust him and accidentally deletes a big part of the project. No. Ruthlessness beside his fist because the group is loud in the building, and he berates them for being unable to finish the project. Oh, that's so terrible, Allie. I'm so sorry.
Oh. That's horrible.
Let's get physical. Yeah, that's a big thing.
I read that as fiscal.
I did originally, but I realized it was the music with it, so I was like, oh, I know what it is.
Oh, okay.
The music notes cued me off.
Fiscal. I gotta be honest, from where I'm sitting, those did not look like music notes.
Ah, okay.
I didn't know what they were. Maybe I need new glasses, but they just looked like a blob.
Okay.
Yeah.
Look at the grimoire mask is done. Oh wait, not his ear. Can't forget his ear.
I am hearing that wind outside and...
Yeah, goodness. No thanks.
I guess I'm just gonna wear 30 layers tomorrow.
Yep, that's the goal. That's what you gotta do. You know what, Mars, do you have a windbreaker?
I do.
Okay, because if you don't have a windbreaker, guys, the next best thing is a rain jacket.
I really want to make a windbreaker joke, but I can't think of one right now. I wish I could.
Guys, did you know that I draw Phoenix Wright for thumbnails so much that I made my own color palette for him? So I don't have to constantly keep picking the colors from an image of him.
That feels appropriate.
Guys, I don't know what happened. I always liked Phoenix, okay? I never didn't like Phoenix. He's a fun guy. He's a protagonist. I'm a sucker for protagonists. He's great. I enjoy it. I smashed,
But then
you know?
became...
And now
the
I
boy.
like I love him too much. Like a surprising an amount I never expected. And we haven't even been playing with him for like 6 months now, if not more. Like, I don't know. But I was like, I'm on the internet and I see like just art. I'm like, oh, look at the pretty boy. It's so nice. I will never not see Phoenix. I would never have said that like,
oh, it's cute. Oh no, it's traumatized.
yeah. It's just wild to
Maybe
me.
in between Investigations and the original trilogy, Phoenix finally got therapy.
No,
I doubt
no,
it, but...
no. No. No.
No.
No.
Hey, I
A
did say
man-
maybe.
The man that turns into Phoenix did not get therapy. That's all I'm gonna say. I don't know what drove him to that, but it certainly wasn't involving therapy. Yeah, you think he can
He's
afford
embracing
therapy?
his inner art student.
Yes, honestly.
Maybe he found peace.
Oh my god! Guys.
What?
So, I need to tell this story, okay? And if
Oh my
Dylan
God.
tells it on in stream on Friday, do act surprised, okay? I didn't because I don't know if he's going to or not, but I need to say it. Okay. So Dylan showed one of his lawyer colleagues an animation of an anonymity of mine. The grounds, you don't get to know them. They're grounds. I love that anime so much. It's so good. It's so good.
good.
And
The
he showed it
animation
to
is
this
so
colleague of his.
snappy.
And the colleague is like, where did she go to school? Right? Like, where did she go? Like, did she do art? And I was like, no, she didn't go to school for art. And he's like, I went to school for art, and people there, graduated couldn't even do like something this good. This is really wild. Like, this is really great. And so one, fucking flattered as hell. Two, he's a lawyer that went to art school first. He's literally Phoenix Wright. I was like, wow, you have to thank him for the compliment. But Dylan, you're saying that this lawyer went to art school? Does he know about Phoenix Wright? And he's like, he knows of Phoenix. I'm like, but does he know about Phoenix Wright? He's like, no, I don't. I'm like, you gotta tell him. You gotta tell him about this.
You
Because
can't
that
not
is
know. This is
nuts.
vital.
Oh my god.
That's crazy.
More likely than you think. Yeah, so if Dylan tells the story, act shook.
Yeah,
I don't think he will.
The artist to lawyer pop line is more prevalent than I thought.
Shit, when am I gonna become a lawyer? Never. I could not. I could never. I hate writing so much. Like the physical act of doing the writing, I despise in an incredible way.
And that is why I do the writing.
Literally, no joke. Or he's like, I want to make a comic, but I fucking hate writing. Mars likes writing, right? I feel like that was again, we were only like getting close at this point. Like we were definitely like, past the point of no return.
Getting close again after college.
Yeah, but it wasn't
like, college keeps you separate.
Well, it was in college when we got like super close,
hanging
but
out on breaks and stuff.
yeah, exactly. And so Mars ended up being like the only friend that like I had from like before college that like didn't stop talking to me. So, and she lives very close to me compared to any of the other friends I had. So it worked out very well. But I was just like, I'm pretty sure I recall Mars liking to write things. I feel like that's a thing I remember. Like, I feel like I remember. So literally, I'm like, Mars, hey, you like to write, right? And she's like, yeah, I do the fan fiction and stuff sometimes. I've done a few. I'm like, comic? And she's like, sure, why not? Literally the exchange. So comic? Question mark. I don't know. I'll have to ask, Zilla. I'll have to ask. Why did he end up with lawyer after going to art school? Immortal friends forever. I mean, see, the second you have like another immortal friend, like I feel like that immediately makes it like so easy to say yes. You know, like if you had any like, doubts literally. Before, you know, like Jesus. Pretty fucking great.
Not a bad deal, I gotta say. I mean, an eternity to work on whatever comic idea I want.
This just reminded me. I know it's really silly, especially because like the whole point of Epic is that Odysseus is like super faithful and loves his wife and just wants to get back to his family and everything. But I think a really funny like goof that people keep doing is that after there are other ways, that's like Odysseus is like, oh shit, like one, way too many things find me kind of hot, and two, I could use this. And then so having like the way Thunderbringer should go, and it's like, oh, it's okay.
Oh my God,
like we know, and he's like, no, Eurylochus, I got this. And then it's like to Zeus, there are other ways of persuasion. And Zeus is like, and then it's like keeps going, and Zeus is like, he's convinced me. And then similarly with Poseidon at the you know, when he's like get in the water, he's like hold on. There are other ways. And Poseidon's just like, wait, hold on. Totally thrown off. And so I think it's very funny. This one I struck as an eerie thumbnail, the mask. I'll tell you the inspiration for it. It's just a little small thing from the episode if you want to know. I won't spoiler it if you don't want to know, but it's literally just a moment. I knew it was going to happen, and specifically I chose it because I wanted to have Phoenix on the thumbnail and like have a reason to have Phoenix on the thumbnail because that gets the views. People really know does. Phoenix. People don't know Grimoire. You know, some people will, but it's like, you know, it's a different level of no, you know? So it's like,
it's niche.
Yeah. I mean, like, you know, people know Studio Investigrave. Like, you know, we had, like, Antag here before. You know, a few people that are like, I came over because you play Studio Investigrave games.
Which was awesome. Like, that was so cool.
Not Tiresias, Pastry Puff, Telemachus.
I think Simon is looking down in this.
It would be very wild to see Phoenix's eyes through the mask. That's always, like, a wild thing. When you have like the mask, and obviously like there's cutouts because of like you know, you need to see through, but then seeing like the layers of the other people's eyes through it is always a wild look. Like paintings, right? Like when the painting's eyes move, but you can see that it's other eyes, not that it's just the painting's eyes moves, right?
Oh yeah, that's
Phoenix
creepy.
Gets all the sweet views, but no money. Exactly. Phoenix get paid in exposure, guys. Literally, like really first does. Guy to fucking somehow make his whole career by being paid in exposure. Because what the fuck does he do? He literally, he goes with Larry, okay, who ends up being like part of a lot of other crimes. So that's kind of exposure. But bigger thing, he defends Maya. Almost definitely for free. And you know what Maya does? Maya gets him all these other clients who then also pay him exposure. Because what does what's his name? Will Powers do? Take him to a place where there's another murder. You know, what does Edgeworth do? Edgeworth paid Phoenix. We can accept this. You know, Emma's involved, and it's just paid in exposure. YouTube doesn't let me edit chat messages. Yeah. It's okay, Pastry Puff. We'll know.
Don't
Yeah,
worry.
he's crawling on his hands and knees. Edgeworth, please, I want to keep fighting in court, but like I can't make rent. And Edgeworth is like, fine, I wasn't gonna use it anyway. I have too fucking much money. I'm fucking loaded as shit. I've got okay, come on, you know that there are two options. Obviously, Edgeworth might not have Von Karma inheritance, but if I'm being honest, with the way some of like the weird background lore of Von Karma is, he might have inheritance, and then Von Karma just died before getting to change his will. You know, like that changing your will is an effort.
I feel like he does have the Von Karma inheritance.
So, you know, he's got half of the Von Karma estate.
Outside the realm of plausibility.
Possibly. If not, like, he's still fucking loaded as shit. Okay, chartering private jets. He's got money to burn. He'd just be like, here, Phoenix. Yeah. He wouldn't actually say this, but in his head, he's like, I also like you know, going against you in court, right?
Here,
like, he needs it.
Here, bae, go have a nice night out.
In your heart of hearts, you believe Will Powers paid him. The only reason I'm back and forth about it is I know the studio was having issues. So, like, I don't... Like, I feel like if Will Powers had the money, he would pay Phoenix. My whole thing is I'm uncertain as to exactly how poor Will Powers would have been at that point. Yeah, okay, so... He's just mean, and then it becomes a joke. That's the whole thing, right? Like, just poor Gumshoe, man. That's why he needed to keep working for Phoenix. I was editing a part of the videos where we get Gumshoe goes to work for Phoenix now. We're joking about the paying shit again. God, if I'm being honest, that's a hilarious joke. Phoenix being, like, constantly without money. Like, that was really funny because it's very funny in like a fictional way. Does that make sense? Right? Gumshoes is sad because it's in a realistic way, right? He doesn't make, you know, he doesn't get food to eat, you know, like he's literally eating like ramen, he's like scraping the like gum off the seats, you know, like he does not have the funds. It is sad. Right, his coat is tattered and like they make it sad. Phoenix not having money is funny because he still has a house and a bike and like can pay for food, you know, for Maya, and like, you know, apparently manages to get by with these people, like putting these exorbitant fees on him and everything.
Tickets. Remember they went to the circus that one time,
you know, and all this sort of stuff. So it's like Phoenix doesn't have money in like a goofy way, you know, where somehow he doesn't need to actually pay for housing or anything and he makes it by, where Gumshoe is poor in a sad, nearly homeless way. And that's the difference.
Yeah.
Ron might have paid him.
His is definitely more sad puppy dog, where Phoenix is like, haha, funny men.
I accept Ron might have paid him. Sugar Daddy Edgeworth. Yeah, no, literally though. Literally, though.
I am not surprised that most of the fandom has gone that direction.
It had to be. Like, they set it up, you know, for that. You know what I'm saying?
They really do.
They literally go back
that's what I'm saying.
and they put Rise from the Ashes in there, and they slate in really hard. Like, they double down that Edgeworth makes a fuck ton of money and Phoenix does not. You know, which is hilarious based on real life, guys. Like, absolutely hilarious. But, like, oh my god. They just really slated it in there.
I think they knew what the people want. Holy crap, that wind. Jeez.
You're hearing it still?
I'm listening to my house creak back and forth.
Ay, ay, ay. Well, I do...
Fun times.
Max. Why am I blanking on Max?
Oh, Maximilian Galactica?
Oh! Yeah, I'll posit Max paid him 100%. I'll posit Max paid him, and I'll posit that Rhonda Light paid him. Who? I don't feel like Maggie Bird has the money. I'm saying, like, I don't feel like she's a waitress, you know, all this stuff. I don't feel like Maggie Bird has the money. And I feel like at a certain point, Phoenix felt bad about it, you know? So I feel like...
Well, I feel like that was a bit of a favor. I mean, she did do him a solid by tutorialing him
Well, it's
in
more
her first
like somebody,
appearance.
so, you know, it was Phoenix trying to like right the wrong of the imposter, you know, right? Like it was for him at a certain point more than her. So like I don't feel like money. No. I do think Edgeworth did pay him the first time.
Yeah, that feels appropriate.
But Lana didn't pay him. I'm sorry. And because then also Gumshoe's like, hey, I like bribed the jail guard, you know. It was just a cool $1,500, and you know, I'll put that on your tab, bud. I don't have that kind of money. And it's just like, oh my god, jeez. I don't think the reason I don't think Lana paid him is because she didn't want it, and Emma definitely didn't pay him. Okay, Maya has been
Emma doesn't have that kind of money
multiple times. Definitely never paid.
Nope.
Matt Ungard definitely did not pay him after all of that.
Oh yeah, no.
Larry didn't pay him. Will Powers, we have the jury is out. Trying to think, we go down the line. Yeah, Maggie Bird, I just don't think ever has the money. I think she would
Dr.
try,
Gray
but it just wouldn't be a lot.
was going to pay him, and then that fell through.
Yeah, he died, so that, you know...
For obvious reasons. So then it ended up being a Maya case, and she definitely didn't pay.
And then, yeah, so he said Max Galactica did.
Who knows? Maybe Dr. Gray paid in advance.
And then we have... What's the one? I'm blanking on what's the second... Oh, yeah, so we said Rhonda Light did. We said Maggie Bird couldn't. And then it's a flashback case. And then... He's defending Iris in the last case, right? I don't think she paid. I don't think there's a pay there. That seems very much like a he did that for his own reasons sort of thing too, right? So it's like,
You know, he had to close that chapter. Finally,
I'll say, if we're going one way or the other, I'll put Will in the paid character. I was for the Will paid category when we were talking about this in the Farewell My Turnabout.
I'm okay with saying Will paid. He feels like a genuine guy.
Now, see, Edgeworth.
I don't think
Edgeworth is a different matter.
Phoenix.
Edgeworth doesn't do gig work like Phoenix has to, right? Edgeworth is a salaried state employee. Okay, that man is doing whatever the fuck he wants, investigating whatever the fuck he wants. Yeah, but that's all she had. That was her life savings because she's fucking temple girl. They don't money. Yeah. Yep. There you go. That's the current lowdown on who has and has not paid Phoenix right. I'm gonna tell you, he's not charging enough. He's famous, guys. People seek him out. He's got a one. He lost his win streak once. That's it. One out of all of them. One out of how many cases? 5 and 4 and another 5. So 4 out of 14 cases. He's 13-1. Pretty damn fucking good odds.
That's not too shabby, I gotta say.
Canada said he only takes cases that are suitably wacky. A lost win streak on purpose. Yeah, indeed. He does seem like you know, in the Marvel movie the recent Marvel movie Doctor Strange, not the second one, the first one. It's like specifically
Multiverse of Madness?
No. That's the more recent one, not that one. The first one.
Gotcha.
Doctor Strange is specifically like only taking cases that are hard, but he like have a high chance of success for the win streak. Well, I see what we're doing with that in Phoenix. Just the way that they go about it with like Rise from the Ashes. He's got depression, man. I gotta tell you, and the only reason he's getting these fucking cases is because Maya literally drags him into it, or somebody shows up on his doorstep like a lost kitten, right? He ain't putting ads out,
And he can't turn them away.
He ain't no, he's a fucking bleeding heart guy, like, Jesus Christ. But like, yeah, he ain't putting ads out and doing whatever. He was bright-eyed and bushy-tailed for Larry's, okay? But Larry had nobody else, and he wanted to help him out. That's fine. Maya, he was the guilty one at some point. He was defending himself at some point too. So he didn't really have a lot of opportunity there. And he, it was Mia's sister. He cared, right? Will Powers, Maya is like, we gotta go fucking do this. Edgeworth, Maya, we gotta go fucking do this. Rise from the Ashes, Emma, please come do this. I don't know how he gets into it with Maggie Bird, right? Like in the tutorial, you don't know the early tutorial cases stuff, right? I honestly, headcanon, Gumshoe fucking begged him. But also Maggie's his, like a fangirl of his, right? So she could have also begged him, right? He didn't go searching for that work. She found him.
I can so easily see that, honestly.
Yeah, right? She found him. What's the case after that one? Reunion and turnabout. It's Maya. He doesn't have a fucking choice, okay? He needs to save that girl at all costs. That girl is just a magnet for jail time. I don't fucking know, for being framed. Third one, Max Galactica, Maya. We gotta go do this, Nick. We gotta go save him, Nick. We gotta do this, Nick.
There's no way he did it, Nick.
Farewell My Turnabout, solely because Maya's kidnapped. Solely because Maya's kidnapped.
Yeah, no,
okay?
Literally that case is all
no
because
other
of Maya.
Reason. Flashback case. The Luke at me one is because it's Maya's vase. It's because it's Maya's vase. No other reason. It's because it's the urn for Maya. And Maya's like, Nick, you gotta figure this out. You gotta do this. Recipe for a turnabout. It's Maggie. And specifically, he was framed because he was impersonated. He didn't have a choice in that matter.
Yeah.
And then again, it's
there
fucking
was no winning in that
where
scenario.
the fuck is Maya? And it's Iris who he has a personal connection to. In the last case, there is one single case that you can maybe say that Phoenix chose to take, and that is the first Maya case. Larry fucking begged him. And that's a childhood friend thing. The only person that he didn't have a significant connection to
is
originally
caused by Maya.
There's literally, that's crazy. That's a wild. Yeah, this is exactly Pastry Puff. But Emma looked too much like Maya. Like it's all Maya's fault. But in a wild way.
And then Lana
Maya's
looked
the
too
only
much
reason.
like Mia.
Maya is the only reason that Phoenix could make any rent. That is very true, Estrock. But so is that really a choice of his? You know what I'm saying? Imagine choosing not to figure out your, like, mentor's murderer. You know what I'm saying? No, he is so depressed, and it is so canon, because fucking Rise from the Ashes is basically like Maya went away and I haven't taken a case since then until this Maya lookalike comes along. Like, Jesus, man, you have a lot of guilt. No wonder they make Godot like the adversary and putting all the guilt about Mia's death on him. This man needs help, okay? The boy is hurt. He passed trauma age, and then they just fucking threw the kitchen sink at him.
And he shall never get therapy
exactly,
for it.
Pastry Puff. See, it's Maya's fault. Yep, exactly. See, every single one. Yeah,
That is
totally
crazy.
healthy coping with Edgeworth's death. Yep, that's okay. I will say that brought about one of my favorite edits anywhere, which is fucking emo Phoenix with the "Where are you?" and "I'm so sorry." That's one of my favorite edits. I can't get over that edit. I love that edit. It's so good. And it's in the fucking redirect, guys. That redirect has been done for a long time. I've finished that redirect a long time ago.
Oh, it's been out.
No, it's not been out because it's Turnabout Big Top. That doesn't come out until after.
Oh, I thought it was earlier in the timeline.
No. That's literally we're standing in the snow and it goes,
Oh,
"Where
shit.
are you?" And I'm so sorry. I can't. It's so good. It's so good. All right, we have been going for way too long. I need to go to sleep.
Yes.
But
This
thank
has
you all for
been a
coming.
night.
This is beautiful. We appreciate all of you. If you want to start watching the Tickle Tower videos right now, you can become a psychic sidekick or an angsty adversary like these lovely people up here. You get all of the videos
Yes.
early, even the Ace Attorney
Thank you,
videos early,
everyone.
as soon as I finish them. Thursday, guys, will be me ranking my VTuber, Cersei, not like the goddess. Spelled different, Cersei's
Yes.
canadensis. But, I hope you come along for that. I'm gonna tell you, probably gonna be a bit of a struggle bus. So, you know, if that's the kind of stuff you like, if you liked what Ori was trying to do, that Ferrix in a different art coloring style and she's struggling, then this is the time. Honestly, I think it will be easier.
I think everyone likes the struggle bus.
But
I
we'll
don't
see.
think there are any complaints.
Hopefully it'll be very cool and very smooth and very easy. But thank you all for coming. It was lovely talking with you guys. This is a great start to the year. This is a great
always
stream.
Is.
This was a riot.
What a way to kick off the new year.
Yeah, we'll see you Thursday.
First Tuesday stream.
And Ace Attorney on Friday. Good night.
Yes. Stay tuned, everyone. We'll see you later.